Wow, that is unexpected. Now, is it a missed groove or is it an injury that's reoccurring? I told you that injuries had plagued him for the better part of half a year.
Yeah, let's have a look at that again, because it was a quick stop to that squat, and that's going to hurt him.
Ooh, yeah, that, I don't even know if that's a missed groove. Look at Joe chomping at the bit for 295.
Yeah, already on his PR here, Ryan.
But Joe is well beyond that. If you follow his training online, he's hit 900 kilos in the gym.
This isn't the gym, though. He's going to have to prove that here on the national platform to get that ticket to Germany in a couple of months' time.
Oh, my goodness.
Does not slow down.
Ooh. You know, is this a legend in the making?
Might just be a long day left for Joe, but he is coming in charging. And, you know, as the young gun of the flight, telling those older, more experienced lifters that keep an eye out.
295 for Sean Noriega. Sean, unintimidated. He's been in these battles before.
Yeah, and none of these lifters are pulling punches. They are all getting close, and maybe even beyond their PRs on their second attempts. Even Sean here, just 5 kilos below his best of 300.
Oh my goodness. And it looks like he's got a lot more than 300 today. And Sean's previous PR, again, landed him with 850.
Ooh. Where will he end today?
I mean. Gerald Scott, 295. I spy Russell Orhe in the crowd watching. Possibly, well, not possibly, unanimously the greatest 83 of all time off resume. Enjoying the show, and what a show it is, Amelia.
Yeah, he will have his eyes peeled on the people he will be competing against when he comes back, and it is a tight class. Current national champion looking out to see who will be taking the crown off of him today.
Oh, little uneven on the way down. One hip sinks a little lower than the other. That's not entirely uncommon, but 3 white lights, and he's good. Gerald, fast, strong.
Legend of the
Yeah,
game.
that's how he's used to squatting. You know, he'll continue pushing through.
Taylor Atwood, 302.5.
Just half a kilo below his best squat. He, again, so close to that number here on extremely good form based off his opener. He looks healthy, Ryan. And a healthy Taylor Atwood is a dangerous Taylor Atwood.
Yeah, it's like John Wick put on a singlet. Line him up. He's unintimidated. Let's see what he does.
Wow, and it is still speedy.
Yeah, the GOAT is on fire here today. Look at the smile on Taylor. He knows it, he feels it, he's confident, and the swagger is back.
And perhaps a lot stronger than a lot of people are giving him credit for coming into this. He is looking good.
Be foolish to overlook somebody like Taylor, but some people wrote him off due to injuries, due to age. It's the volume or the mileage on his body. Sean Jin, 305.
Bro, 83s are crushing, bro. Everyone is scoring like 300 in the 83s.
Oh, it's a scrappy 305, but he gets it. Whoa. The fights came a little early for Sean. It's the second round, but Successful nonetheless, does beg the question, where do you go from here?
Yeah, I would expect to see a huge jump there. With Matt Gary in his corner, I would expect to see the safer option, but hard to say if that was just too big of a jump or perhaps something went a little wrong.
305 stays on the bar for Angelo.
Again, getting close to that PR of 310. Everybody bringing their A game today.
Angelo working with John Song, who's in prep anyways, done some great progress. Has an opportunity to bring it to the platform. Based on what I've previously seen, he shouldn't have any major struggles here. Yeah, that's exactly it. I would say he's got 320 on the day as well. I'd be comfortable loading up another 15 kilos.
Not bad.
What do you think? Am I being overly ambitious?
I wouldn't say overly ambitious. I think if there was no pressure, that's absolutely what they should do. The question is, what do they feel comfortable putting on with absolutely zero risk?
It's tough. If you miss, you fall behind, but this is such a stacked division. If you're too conservative, you're not making the platform. Delaney Wallace, 310. And here we are. Here's the dancing and bouncing we're used to seeing. The weight gets heavier. He dances a little more.
And I know I sound like a broken record, Ryan, but again, another lifter now hitting his PR on his second attempt. Delaney isn't new to the game, so clearly has had a phenomenal prep coming into this.
Battle Primetime is
Delaney
sick,
keeps his cards close to his chest, doesn't post very
300
much.
squats, 300 plus squats, 183s. Oh, that was good.
Oh!
Damn.
And Delaney has more there. Listen, he doesn't post much. I was in New York with Delaney,
at least
and
4 or
Taylor
5
Atwood and
people
Russell Orhe were at his
850
gym,
plus,
and Taylor
850
Atwood
or
said, be
840,
careful,
850
I'm
plus.
coming into the 83s, and Delaney, unintimidated, said, you should have came up 2 years ago. It's too late. He doesn't post, but his confidence is high.
And that would be why.
What do you guys think?
And that would be why. Charles Hammonds, 260.
Yeah, into this third round, and excited to see where these 83s push their final attempts. Already big in hitting PRs or matching PRs in that second round. It's a 7.5 kilo PR for Charles, should he make this.
Bar is slightly uneven on his back, it looks like. See if he, no, I think he's going to take it like that.
Some lifters just a little bit wonky, and that's okay.
I mean, honestly, not all their hips rest the same, and it might be exactly where he wants it.
Or not. Maybe it was just a little too much today. Like we said, a 7.5 kilo PR. Should he have made that?
Third attempts, we are going to see a lot of.
Jabril with 275 for his third and final, entering into the 600 pounds. There's Michael C. in the background, junior star for Team USA. His wife in the battle tomorrow, battle of the 69s.
Jabril looking for a 5 kilo personal best here, getting those 5 reds on the bar.
And that's exactly what you want to see for a third attempt. Any more probably would have been too much.
But not so much of a grind that he has tanked himself for the rest of the competition.
Nice 5 kilo personal best. Marcellus paced him well. Cody Yeager up next with 287.5.
Yeah, I think the expected jump here, looking to match personal best. I think you asked whether he'd take that 5 or that 7.5. So answers that.
Let's see how this works out for him.
287.5.
It is the third round of squats. So far, the men successful. Very few misses. Chris Perez missed one in the second. Charles in the third. But good, but
That's
a
a
good
narrow
success
stance.
rate.
Oh my God.
It seems like the right number there.
Yeah, Cody, again, good
Narrow
execution.
stance. That deep.
Handlers putting the proper weight on the bar. And this is where, though, these gentlemen are pushing themselves right to the limit.
Comparatively narrow, not
looking
exactly
to answer
narrow,
a question we
but
had. There's
comparatively
quite a
narrow
quick
than
fail here for Perez.
the other
He's looking to
lifters.
retake it. So interested to see, Ryan, what happened.
You hope if it's an injury, it wasn't re-aggravated, but 290 kilos can do that.
Let's see.
And he
Just if
loses
they're going
out
at
quite a
290.
bit should he miss this 290 again.
This is 20 kilos he needs. Oh my gosh, no, no.
What was that
I
angle?
think there's something might be wrong.
And that might just put him out that battle. And it's going to be a hard climb back.
No, that's
Got to be it.
it's just too competitive a class to be leaving with your opener and still gain ground, end up on a podium. That's unfortunate. Sion, 300 kilos even.
Looking for that big 300 kilo milestone. And what better place to do it? The national stage here on his PA Nats debut.
Now 285, his expression was a whole lot more serious, and it was work. This is 15 kilos from there.
I'd expect to see a big celebration should Farley Thompson
Oh my God.
make this.
Fist pumping
Getting
the
some,
squatters
he's
before.
far, that's the helmet. He's far more serious with this 300 kilos, and it can matter.
Sick move.
And it's moving, he's fighting through it, but just not there today.
285 was work. When I seen a 15 kilo jump, I understand it. You want a PR, everybody's watching. This is the place to do it, but the way 285 moved.
Yeah, and there's a big difference between your planned attempts and what you have on the day, and it's important. You've got to take this there on the day, regardless of what you want from the day.
Joey B,
Aiming for that
305. 295 was his previous personal best, but if you follow him online, you gotta suspect he's well beyond that. This could be the squat session of a historical performance.
And I can't imagine really a world that Joe misses this, but he's gonna need to make it. Like you said, it is tight up there at the top.
Oh, that's fucking deep. That's fucking deep.
More
and
work,
then-
but you
oh my
expect
God.
it. It is.
And 305 it is. Joseph Borenstein has arrived.
10 kilos on top of what we've seen him do already in competition, and we know that his training is going well, and there is the proof.
Amelia, we might see 900 fall. Gerald Scott, 305 stays on the bar for him.
Hitting 900 in the 83
Looking for a 5 kilo PR here.
Bro, what are we watching?
Has a
We're
huge
watching
pull on him.
74's Austin Perking hitting 850, 840. Being a 74, we are watching Joe Borenstein probably going for 900 in the 83s. What are they feeding these guys?
Nice strong walk out there for Gerald.
He locks in.
Yeah, it just looked like he lost a little bit of tension there in the hole, and it's difficult to come back once you lose that tension.
You seen him lock in and get so tight, but you're right, at a certain point, looked like he lost that tension. Difficult to regain. 307.5 for the comebacking Sean Noriega. Sean, crazy to think he's still in his 20s, still a young man. He's such a wily veteran.
He's in his 20s.
Yeah, and that 295, which was just 5 kilos below his PR, obviously above it now by 7.5, was so speedy.
7.5 kilos over his previous personal best, and his previous personal best attributed to 850. Where is it going to end up today? Oh my goodness, Sean is on fire today. Huge, huge squat session for Sean Noriega.
Oh my God.
Look at him.
I didn't even see the depth. And
Absolutely incredible. The top
flew.
83s, not pulling any punches, leaving everything on the platform, hitting PRs left, right, and center, and they're going to have to today.
Sean Jin, 312.5 now, 305 looked like a...
It was
I want
tough.
to see the replay.
It was tough. We'll say that.
It was tough. If we could sum it up, it was quite tough. This is an ambitious 7.5 kilo jump. However, his intensity levels look a lot higher.
Yeah, looking for a PR here. Is that the right move? We'll have to see.
Up.
Yeah, it was always going to be a big ask.
Yeah, unfortunately, not quite there. And
15 kg jump.
you know, hindsight is
by Taylor
2020,
Atwood.
but I think we knew 7.5 would have been absolutely the limit, if not above it, and that was the answer. It was unfortunately above it today.
Oh my goodness,
Already getting excited. We are just at
317.5
squats
Taylor
and
Atwood,
it's
700-pound squat for Taylor. Whoa!
This is not just a little bit above his best squat. This is a lot above his best squat of 303. Taylor coming in healthy, 83 kilos, suits him.
The last set moved good. That was easy.
This is an absolutely
gotta watch out for
monstrous
them.
squat historically for Taylor, but Taylor's now in 83. He has filled out the weight class.
This will do a lot for him.
Russell Orr, he left his seat and has approached the platform, needs to get a closer view. I don't blame him.
Yeah, we are standing as well. This is a huge squat for Taylor.
Oh my
goodness.
God.
Taylor Atwood has arrived into the 83 kilo class with authority.
And it is a good lift for Taylor. Absolutely incredible. And that was not a limit lift, Ryan.
Not yet, Joe Borenstein. Not yet do you wear that crown when Taylor Atwood is in the roster.
Delaney Wallace is
Going
here.
to be tight, and I think a lot tighter than people
Let's go.
anticipated.
Now Delaney Wallace has an opportunity to respond.
Grab some popcorn.
320 kilos coming into this. 310 was his previous personal best. 10 kilo jump onto his PR.
Yeah, he sees newcomer Joseph Borenstein come in, and 74 kilo world champion Taylor Atwood. He is stepping up his game for sure.
Russell hasn't returned to his seat. And how can you?
It is a huge strike. No, unfortunately, just not there for Delaney, and that is tough.
That was close. That was very close. Angelo Fortino now, 320. This is the call I thought they should make based off of his training, what I saw.
Yeah. It's completely justified. Like you said, you have to walk that fine line of risky enough that the chances are you'll miss it, but a good enough chance to gain kilos to stay in the fight.
It's just such a competitive class.
His last set flew.
Let's see how close he
305
walks that line here with that 320 to close out the flight.
Let's see.
Slow and controlled as usual. Oh, and look how smooth that was. You know what? I told you, he probably had a little bit more, but I think 320 was the right call.
I've never seen someone with that.
And, you know, hats off to Angelo there. It's a phenomenal final squat and did not tank himself whatsoever heading into bench and deadlift.
He's got plenty more, and he's got a monstrous deadlift. He's going to need that extra. And as we take a look at the standings of the 83s, based on the projected, Joe Borenstein in the lead, Taylor Atwood, Sean Noriega, Delaney Wallace, Angelo Fortino, Sean Jin. A lot can happen, though. Still very early days. I need to tell you, you're going to want to come back. Short 10-minute break.
It's going to be sick. What do you guys think? 320. We got 320, 317.5. And 307.5. Bench is gonna be a battle as well. I'm excited to see how it plays out. We have a break before bench starts. I think women's का bench शुरू होगा पहले. They have yep, 63 and 69 women's bench first, and then 83's men ka bench. And let's look at 63 and 69 women's. $137.5. Megan Scanlon. She's probably gonna go huge. And we have, yeah, I think she's the runner-up for winning. I think for now, like 69s may, I think, yeah, Celine, yeah, Gabby is good for now. This is the most exciting class. 83s, it's stacked right now, stacked. Each one of them is gonna hit 800 plus. Guys, grab some food or something. Bench is gonna start soon for women's 63 and 69, and then 83s, which is the most stacked division, will have their bench. This is the scoreboard for now. Joe Bernstein, Sean Noriega, and Delaney Wallace, Taylor Atwood. Everyone is gonna fucking hit 850. I feel like there's so many people.
to gain kilos to stay.
Take me in the smoke, breathe me in and let me go. Sink to your heart to find you. Open up your eyes till you're blinded by the lies.
As we take a peek at the standings in the 63 kilo class, Megan Scanlon off to a quick lead, but Angelina Martinez not far behind him here.
It is really close, much closer than we anticipated. Angelina's coming in on really good form today.
The standings are going to lie to you because Angelina takes very big jumps. Don't be misled, but the battle of the 69s, Celine Crump, Gabby Martinez, and Jacqueline Later batting around that world record in the squat. Very tight race.
Yeah, and Gabby's just missing out on that final squat. Perker definitely missing out on a few kilos now, but still holding on prognosis to that second place. We'll see how that pans out as the day goes on.
83 kilo class, Joseph Borenstein living up to the hype, but guess what? So is Taylor Atwood. And returning Sean Noriega, Delaney Wallace, Angelina Fortino, Sean Jin, still so close. But as I walked in the warm-up room back there, the tension is thick. You could cut it with a knife. I see a lot of people ready to hit some big bench presses. What are you thinking, Amelia?
Yeah, well, when only 20 kilos currently on prognosis separates first and fifth, you can see why the tension is high in the warm-up room. It's going to be close.
It is, and I said a couple times earlier in the squat session, Russell Orhe, probably the greatest 83 of all time, left his seat several times to take in the action. We got Russ's attention. He will be joining us for the 83 kilo bench session. I would love to get his opinion on what he saw as the action unfolds in the bench press as well. But first, we'll take it to the platform as Molly Hendricks takes 75 kilos with ease.
Yeah, already opening on her PR, so only up from here. It's a good lift.
Again, just like the first session, or first flight, sorry, 63s and 69s back and forth. I'll keep you updated as it comes. Sydney Hunter, 75 kilo Sydney, big squat, big deadlift. She can really shake things up with that final pull.
Yeah, and she's looking to fight for that podium position. Just heading back off the platform. The only piece of equipment that you can change or play with on the platform is going to be your belt. You can only adjust that. Your wrist straps have to be done before you pass the technical officer.
At the very least, she's finding this out in her opening bench. Still has some time.
Relatively close grip there. Got those long deadlift arms.
I was just about to say, this is where the deadlift arms are going to hinder you. Well, there's a little hiccup on the way up there.
Yeah, I'm wondering if there's any downwards movement. I hope not, but it seems like there was, Ryan. Unfortunately, a no lift, a little bit of a tricky start.
Yeah, I thought maybe she had hit the rack on the way up. Difficult to see from that angle. There was definitely a hiccup there. It didn't look like it was a strength issue, which is the positive. I think she'll come out and she'll hit it. However, do you retake 75? Do you move up anyways? It could become a strength issue if you move up.
This is a question. You know, she is in contention for that podium, and she might want to take that risk if she wants to continue to keep the kilos close. Luckily, it happened on bench, where usually the jumps are slightly smaller anyway.
Ashley Hodge, 85 kilo opener in the 63 kilo class. Yeah, and it is interesting too, Sydney taking a rather close grip bench despite having those deadlift arms. It's not going to do her any help in terms of range of motion. Smooth, easy opener for Ashley.
Yeah, opening just 5 kilos below her PR.
Haley Sheehan, 69 kilo class, 85 kilos for her opening bench.
Now, unless something goes tremendously wrong. We really know what the podium in the 69 is going to look like. So Haley coming in to build as big a total as possible, potentially with slightly different goals today. And of course, if something does go tremendously wrong, looking to push onto that podium.
That's a wide stance for bench.
Very wide leg stance there.
Yeah, that's a wide base. Makes easy work of 85 kilos.
Anything that works for you.
Haley's on the board. Michelle Liu, 90 kilos. We stay in the 63 kilo class. William Squats her coach on the flex team.
Michelle with a PR of 96 kilos. Placed second at NAPFs last year. Slight. Very, very easy for Michelle. And yeah, I was wondering if she would get a depth call. So unfortunately gets a call for elbow depth. Still a relatively new rule. What that would be her elbows not being quite parallel with the middle of her shoulder joint. So needs to try and find a little extra depth here.
I saw Sean Noriega taking a peek out there. This will be a bit of a storyline for Sean. Sean's got a monster he does have a monster deadlift, but monster bench press. But the elbow rule is really going to affect him the most of anyone else in these 83 kilo class and possibly of the session entirely. 90 kilos for Amy Chang. So interesting, Sean taking a look at where's the strike zone today. And he came out.
Yeah, some nerves building, perhaps knowing that they're watching out for that elbow depth.
That looks good to me.
Yeah, Amy can bench over 100 kilos, so 90 light work for her.
I like the white. She has such a huge smile on her face. She was dancing.
Abigail Brosh, 95 kilos for opening press.
Opening up with 209 pounds.
Yeah, Abigail's PR is huge, 120, so 95 seems a little conservative of an opener for her.
Wow, okay, looks like she's going to take some big jumps.
Yeah, but I mean, even with big jumps, the spread there of 25 kilos bench press in the 63s is pretty large.
I'll be honest, you're right, first off, but I could see her taking a 10 kilo jump here. Angelina Martinez, 105. I briefly spoke to Angelina in the back in between the squat and bench session. She's extremely confident.
Big smile.
Yeah, doing her best to push Meg, and she's opening 2.5 kilos above her PR, so the total that we know of her really doesn't matter.
And this is it. If you've been following her online, sometimes you look at the nominations and you got to throw them out the window. Of course, Megan Scanlon and her team, well aware of the threat levels.
That's comfortable.
That's a personal best as an opener and easily shifts it. Again, doubling back to day one, we've seen how upsets can happen. You can't take anybody for granted.
Yeah, but I mean, talking of benches, if you're going head-to-head with anybody on bench, you're going to have a tough job with Megan Scanlon.
Well, you look to gain kilos in the bench press session. You don't look to gain the win there, that's for sure. You're not out benching Megan Scanlon. Gabby Martinez, 115 in the 69 kilo class.
So missing out on that squat, she's going to want to make sure she collects as many kilos as she can here on bench with a PR of 122.5.
Gabby has a serviceable bench, but surprise, surprise, so does Celine and so does Jackie. She can't afford to miss too many more lifts, but it's a long day, and I'd be shocked if none of the other 69s also miss a couple lifts here and there.
Yeah, where Gabby is slightly behind Jackie on bench, she more than makes up for in her deadlift.
Celine, 120. Celine made some huge strides on her bench press and prep. Look at this.
My elbows go so down.
Entering differently.
Come up all the way.
Thought she might do a somersault over the bar for a second there.
Or have like a crazy arch
Celine's bench press
to decrease that range of motion.
in prep for this has gone up huge, 7.5 to 10 kilos. That's massive gains in one prep for a bench press.
Wow. And it is very, very comfortable for Celine.
Just to give you a little bit of comparison, 122.5 was her previous personal best. She just did that with 120. Having a conversation, perhaps how she entered the bench press?
Yeah, you have to enter from the front of the bench. I'm not sure what that conversation was about necessarily, but in any case, another big bencher coming up now.
Jackie Malater,
What's
125.
the thing in her t-shirt? Is it
It's a
allowed?
battle of the big
Oh,
three in the
mouthpiece.
69 kilo class.
Yeah, but I
Jackie,
said
Celine,
allowed.
and Gabby.
It was the mouthpiece.
Jackie, 3 for 3 in the squat event. Broke the squat national record. Didn't stand for very long, but she did. Smooth 125 opener for Jackie.
And it is a good lift, 3 white lights. Dare I say, a smidgen slower than Celine's, but still very, very comfortable for her.
Benching 120.
And if you like bench pressing, you're going to love Megan Scanlon, 137.5.
I don't know if you guys realize.
Talking about the
I'm
bench
not-
depth rule, Megan initially greatly impacted by
This
that
is
rule,
elite
made the
level
proper
bench
adjustments,
from
and now back just as good as she ever was.
Yeah, and if I'm not mistaken, just missed out on that world record at Sheffield on the bench press. This is 10 kilos below
on,
her
man.
PR of 147.5. So like we said, she is not pulling punches. She knows Martinez is right behind
That's
her,
her
and
opener.
that her
Seriously,
progress has been
137.5.
huge.
Finished the squat event with a national record, 203. There it is.
And that's where a lot of the kilos are made up, and the difference in totals between herself and Martinez.
The confidence level in Megan doesn't even look back for the lights. We're all good here. I'll see you in 5 minutes. 77.5 for Molly Hendricks in the 63 kilo class.
Yeah, opting for a 2.5 kilo jump, which isn't super abnormal to see on the bench, especially in the slightly lighter weight classes. And yeah, we can see here her being told not to enter through the back. It is in the rule book, I believe.
So how is that going to affect some of these lifters?
Well, mentally, that is going to affect how they're setting up and what they're used to, their routine, their ritual. But also physically, if that's how they get into their optimal position, that could mess with her at a top-end bench, particularly. This is over her personal best.
That's a bench press now.
But she still works through it.
Nevertheless, if you enter in prep, in competition the same way, in on the fly, on the day, you have to change up your setup.
Yeah,
It's a big ask.
It's tough. It is. It's very, very tough to do mentally and physically.
Sydney Hunter moving up 7.5 kilos. There was a hiccup. We couldn't necessarily see what it was. Needless to say, she needs this.
Yeah, just got called on downwards movement on her opening attempt.
I think she's moved her arms out slightly more, maybe.
It does look slightly wider, ever so slightly. Got a good eagle eye there, Ryan. Needs to get on the board.
That's better. It's still a little shaky, though.
Yeah, and
Should be good.
not completely abnormal. She's on the board. Not completely abnormal with a slightly closer grip. She's got long arms. It's a long way for it to go.
She got the elbow depth.
Previous PR is 85 kilos. I think we're going to fall a little short of that today, but we'll see. Michelle Liu, 90 kilos, also missed her opening bench.
Yeah, now this one was on elbow depth. So you got 2-to-1 a no lift. So again, something very, very difficult to adjust on the day. This isn't just how you're getting onto the bench, into your position. This is really the fundamentals of your bench.
Again, more on the day adjustments to be made by a lifter. Adversity has struck the ladies here.
Can she adapt?
That looks better to me.
It definitely looks better. I think that should be fine, but we'll wait for the... No!
Oh, see, I'm a bit of a softie, but still, come on.
Well, one of those, Ryan, was for a blue. So the center was for depth, and from the far side referee, as they go to the jury...
Yeah, you got to go to the jury on this one.
And we'll keep our eye on the jury and our other eye on our next lifter.
Ashley Hodge, 90 kilos, 5-kilo jump from her opening bench. And this bench press session, only in the second round's already a little more exciting than we would like.
Yeah, definitely not looking for this much drama this early on. Would normally save that for the final deadlifts, if possible. This is to match Ashley's PR.
No question on elbow depth there.
And it's still very, very comfortable.
Smooth 90 kilos that she struts off the platform.
So Michelle, obviously in a very sticky situation now, needs to get a bench on the board in order to post a total. Slightly different issue in a second. Got one depth and one blue. We'll see how that unfolds.
Looks like they didn't get anywhere at the referee table. Whatever infraction the refs saw on the platform, the jury table agreed. Haley Sheehan, 90 kilos, 69 kilo class.
That's a wide stance.
This will match her previous personal best.
It's a little tough. It is her current PR, as you said. And a good lift, 3 white lights. I expect to see her utilizing that 2.5 kilo jump there for her third.
Might be prudent. Amy Chang, 97.5. We will stay in the 69 kilo class.
Very sizable,
wipe.
7.5
She
kilo
has a
jump
wipe.
for Amy. The PR of 102.5 has
Big
hit that
smile.
magic 100 before.
Happy to be here. Wide stance is valid. I'm not sure कि
Yeah,
कितना
very
wide
nice, very
का
snappy
they
lockout
have
from
the
Amy.
rule,
And a good lift.
but it's allowed.
Seem to be back on track. 3 greens now on the scoreboard is Abigail Brosh, 102.5.
Yeah, taking a 7.5 kilo jump. I'm wondering if she was dealing with some sort of injury and prep. Like I said, her
As
best
long
bench
your
is
feet is on the
120.
ground and your hip is on the
I
bench.
mentioned during the squats, this is her 4th ever
I don't
meet.
think so. Wide stance makes a huge difference.
The opener was very comfortable enough that you said you could see a 10 kilo jump being justified.
Yeah, it looks like she's got so much more in her, but again, you never know what you're coming in with. Any kind of injuries, you don't want to re-aggravate. Every kilo is going to count. Worst case scenario, you re-aggravate an injury so badly, it affects your deadlift. Angelina Martinez, 110 kilos. Angelina coming in with 102.5 as her personal best bench. She opened heavier than that. We're well beyond that at this point.
Yeah, and just like her squats, very comfortable PR in her opener. Looking to extend that another 5 kilos.
मेन तो अभी मेंस 83 का जो शुरू होगा उसमें मजा आएगा. That's the battle to watch.
Look like a second attempt should. Harder than the first. A
Stacked
little more room to spare.
Yeah, it was still very comfortable. And what would you say in terms of jump there? Because we know what the safe jump would be. It would be that, you know, incremental 2.5.
Well, here's where the conversation starts to head. Does she try to chase down Megan, or does she defend silver? Because if you get overly ambitious and Megan starts pulling away, you start overshooting.
That's the question her and her coach have to have now, and they have to have it quickly, and it looks like they have taken the safer option.
120 for Gabby Martinez. Gabby neck and neck in the battle of the 69s. Only one of them could get gold and earn that Team USA spot. 5 kilo extra moved pretty well for Gabby.
That is a good lift. 3 white lights for Gabby there.
Taking up the 281 for Celine Club. Bar is loaded.
Celine the Machine, 127.5.
That's a huge
5
bench
kilo personal
for
best, and yeah, she's entering differently.
Yeah, another lifter having to adjust after a conversation with the referee there.
I think she should be fine. She ends up in the same spot right here. She just walked into it differently. I think she'll be okay.
Yeah, and that's exactly what you do when you're an elite athlete like Celine. You have to adjust, you have to adapt on the day to the circumstances.
I remember speaking to Celine after last year's Nationals. She was very upset, missed on the opportunity to represent USA at the Worlds, and desperately wants to get her chance. This will help, 7.5 more kilos.
And 5 kilo PR, a little shaky on the way up, but still a few kilos there to collect, I reckon.
Jackie Malater, 130 kilos.
This would be 5 kilos below her personal best. Should this go well, perhaps looking to match it today. Held a chip for a short moment.
Her
Of course,
range
then
of motion was
losing it on her 3rd attempt, but gaining those 4
very,
extra
very
kilos.
less compared to the other ones.
I believe her to be the lightest of the 3, however. That has that advantage.
It is that close. It might come down to body weight. Oh, little hiccup. Was that a pause or was that an up-down?
I'm hoping it's a pause.
I think left mirror.
Unfortunately, no, that was definitely downwards movement, and somewhat may level the playing field with Gabby missing a squat. Now Jackie missing a bench.
However, this is the second attempt,
She hit the
and you
bar.
got to think, obviously she could right the ship in the 3rd round.
143 kg bench at
Be very
63
difficult.
body weight.
Yeah, but perhaps losing out on kilos that she could have gotten that 3rd, but it did look like a little bit of a tough lift regardless.
Megan Scanlon,
that's
143. This is an
That's
American
huge.
record.
Personal best of 147.5. Looking to collect all the chips. Already a chip on her squat with 203.
I believe 147.5 was before the bench rule, and I was saying just how close she is despite it. She's modified her bench press. Actually, speak of the devil, I think Russell Orhe, who made huge gains on his bench press at Sheffield, was saying he analyzed Megan Scanlon's setup.
That was still
Now, the one thing
questionable.
Meg
I'm not
sometimes
sure.
gets caught on is her butt lifting.
Oh,
Yeah, and unfortunately does get called from the side here. I wonder if we'll be able to see it.
oh, maybe. Let's see that angle. Pay attention. Yep.
Butt lift.
Yeah,
off the
just
bench.
unfortunately, she uses so much leg drive. Unfortunately, it's nature
Molly
of it is.
Think of the 83s.
Molly Hendricks, 80
Anyone
kilos,
is gonna
and
be
we're in the
close to
63 kilo
Joseph
class.
Borenstein. Maybe Taylor Atwood. Or Delaney Wallace or Sheen Norega.
Megan, of course, already with the chip, and she is so far ahead as it stands. Should she make all 3 deadlifts, she's in, or maybe even just 2, in a pretty strong position.
Oh, 2.5 kilos really slowed that bar down.
Yeah, and the positive of that means that we know that she got absolutely everything she could have out of her bench, having jumped the minimum increment.
Bar is loaded with 181.
Yeah, I'd agree with you in terms of the comfort levels that Megan can have thus far. However, you don't want to miss too many, and Angelina is a big deadlifter. Sydney Hunter, 82.5. Sydney had a rough opening bench, steadied herself with 177.5 in the second round, jumping 5 kilos. Just a stitch below her 85 kilo personal best.
And it's a fight, but it doesn't look like the
Russell
bar
Ori is
dipped.
in the crowd.
No,
and
that
I
one was
think
much better,
he's
and I think
gonna
that was a
sit
perfect
with the
call there,
commentators
82 and a half.
Most commentators
If she
said
tried to
that
match her previous
83
personal
का
best,
bench
it might have been too much on the day. And that's what you're supposed to do. You got to adjust now.
इसका सुनना है मेरे को.
90 kilos once
क्या
again
बोलता
for
है वो?
Michelle Liu. You want to talk
उसका
about
Sheffield
pressure.
record
This
खतरे
poor
में.
lady.
I think he hit 870
Yeah, needs
Sheffield
this
में.
lift to stay in the competition to be able to post a total. Has got
Borenstein
pulled
has
on
done
elbow
900 in his
depth for her
training,
opener
so
and
I'm
her
not sure.
second. Can she adjust? It's a difficult thing to change on the day, but she needs to do it now.
If he hits
It's
900
her last chance.
in a national,
Strength is not an issue.
a lot of people are going to leave 83s and jump up to the 93s.
At all costs.
Just like
And it looks better,
what
but is
happened
it
with
good enough?
74s after Austin Perkins came in.
It is. Oh my
Finally.
gosh. And coming into this, you never could have convinced her, hey, you're opening weight 90 kilos, you're going to celebrate hitting that.
Yeah, and it's great to see a lifter celebrate that rather than being disheartened, only getting that number in.
Now there's a lot more of the day left to go. Ashley Hodge, 92.5 in the 63 kilo class.
Just centering the bar there. Be a 2.5 kilo PR for Ashley should she make this. Hit a 2.5 kilo PR on her squat as well. Looking for a big total here today.
1 second. मैं बोल रहा था
That's a great
कि
third attempt.
अगर जोसेफ
Very easy
बर्नस्टीन
PR. 3 white lights
he
here.
hits
Good lift.
900 वो
You know, people don't really talk about it much,
उसने
but it's
training में
true.
किया,
You
he has
can
hit
actually, if
900 in
you
his
fight
trainings.
really hard on a bench press,
and he hits
tighten up your lower
900
back, it
at a
will
national
affect your
event.
deadlift. You want to get the
A lot
kilos,
of
but
people
not at the
are
expense
gonna
of kilos on your
start
deadlift.
leaving 83
Haley
category
Sheehan,
and jump up to 93.
92.5 as we
'Cause
move into the
the battle of
69 kilo
83s
class.
has
And
been
Haley
nearby
taking a wide
840 to
base for her
870
third and
lately.
final.
And 870 शेफील्ड में रसल ओरी ने 870 किया था शेफील्ड में ये 2
Pretty
महीने
normal
पहले ही.
spread of kilos we see here. 5 kilo jump followed by a 2.5
And
kilo
if
jump.
he hits 900, that's the huge, huge, huge
Haley.
jump for the 83 people to catch up. People are barely making 850.
Ooh. Little too much on the day, and it should be noted, talking about the 69 kilo class, thus
Rather
far,
they jump up at 93
and we said we had a
start
very tight battle,
going over
only
900s.
Celine Crum has failed to miss
Just
the
like
lift.
74s में
Could be
जैसा हुआ.
telling, but there's a lot
Austin
more left
Perkins
to
के
go.
आने के बाद
Amy Chang,
some of the veterans had to jump up to
102.5.
83 because there's no catching to Austin Perkins. Like एक या दो बंदे जो पहुंच सकते 800 plus in his category 74 में. Elite level stuff.
Yeah, and this would match Amy's PR as we mentioned before.
Makes
Very much
sense or
capable of a 100 kilo plus bench press. And a good lift. 3 white lights. We knew it was in her wheelhouse.
.107.5 for Abigail Brosh, 63 kilo class.
Yeah, a big bench, still under her capabilities. Imagining she's been dealing with some sort of issues here. However, still a huge bench press. 5 kilo jump, 95, 102, both very comfortable.
India is yet to catch up.
Abigail goes 3 for 3 in the bench press event.
3-4 साल लगेगा वर्ल्ड लेवल पे कैचअप करने में अपने को पावर लिफ्टिंग स्पोर्ट में. अपना इधर 83 is barely making 730, 740, 750.
In the 63 kilo class.
Like
Yeah,
150 kg difference in a weight class is huge.
Should she make this?
If she gets this, 10 kilos on squat, 10 kilos on bench, we're 20 kilos
No one in the
up
83s
on
can touch
nominations
800 as
already.
well अभी तो
With deadlifts
अपने
left
इधर.
to go. And I'm warning you, she's got a big deadlift.
With her opening deadlift, should she make this already 500 kilo total?
Skip to 83 fast. I wish brother live चल रहा है. Eh, I'm I'm
The
wait
fight, I saw at
I'm
least
waiting for
one.
that.
I don't know if I saw
कितना
it
bench
tonight.
बचा है इनका?
I did, and I hope I did it.
Last attempt ही चल रहा है इनका
There we
bench.
go. 3 white lights, a good lift,
2 या 3 ही bench बचे.
and has
एक,
the fight of a much more mature
2,
lifter.
3, 4 bench बचे. Then 83s का चालू हो जाएगा.
122.5 for Gabby Martinez in the 69 kilo class. Gabby.
4
this is
bench
her
बचे.
third squat. Looking to go
Yes,
50
Aaron
with
is
the bench
83.
press.
I think Aaron
Still
has
very, very
probably
close.
750,
She's
close
got
to
a chest on
750. He can do it in
Satan's
Asians.
70
70,
on the forecast, but
750 plus
straight back to
if
charging
he has
forward
a
at the
day
same time.
where he performs at his best. 750, 800 tak he can do. Not sure about 80,
And every kilo
800
with
plus.
1.5.
800 plus के लिए एक साल तो लगेगा at
Gabby
least.
weighing in at 69
He's very new to
on the
83s
dot,
abhi.
does not have body weight advantage, and is
He'll do good. I'm not saying he'll not do good. I'm saying he'll do amazing. Probably one of the best lifters in India.
Celine
But
the machine,
थोड़ा
100
weight class
plus
fill out
kilos.
करने में time
Has
लगेगा.
not hit this on the platform, but I've seen her hit this in the gym.
He just went to 83s like couple of months ago.
comp PR on her
तो वो
second.
weight class अच्छे से fill out
As
करने में.
Borenstein, the only one of the top 369s not to miss a lift yet. Can she keep that?
But he'll be the
Heading into
one of the best 83s India में अभी फिलहाल के लिए.
Remember at one point with Celine,
Nationals में
she
he
had
didn't
something
perform
like
at his best, but
7 to 8
Asians में he
week
always
competition
do
run
like
of never
better
missing a
than
single
his
lift.
nationals.
Very
That's
consistent.
been last 2-3 years ऐसा ही है. Oh, nice try.
And that levels the playing field. Heading into deadlift with all 3 top 69s missing one of their lifts. It was a 2.5 kilo jump. The second was already a PR, so she got absolutely everything she could have out of that bench.
Jackie Malater, 5 kilos she can add onto her total, and she'll need it.
And should she get this, as we said, all 369s going 5 for 6 into deadlifts.
Last 2-3 bench बचे.
Looks
Wow.
much better.
Much better. 5 more kilos added to her total, and she's right back in the hunt. She really did need this, Amelia.
Yeah, she absolutely did. You know,
Who is the best lifter for now in India in any category who has potential for international? Rajat Rawat.
hill to climb.
He is the best lifter of India.
Wants to put her foot on Angelina's
Not
neck.
India, Asia, and probably even the best in Asia in his category, and can represent
Once again for that
India at world level.
record.
Baki,
To keep
a lot of Indian athletes,
on the
they can
bench,
represent
reach elbow depth
internationally at Asians and do good at Asians, but
more than
I don't
half of
see
this
next 1-2 साल में except
national and
Rajat Rawat
international stage
जो
more
वर्ल्ड लेवल
than
पे जा सकता है out of Asians क्लियर करके.
Can she do it today?
Well, from this angle, hard to tell. Look good from here, though.
And it is 3 white lights, a good lift. The jury can't touch it. A new national record, and continues to bridge the gap.
मेंस का शुरू होने वाला है.
At a certain point, you got to think Angelina's got to decide, I got to defend the silver medal, stop chasing Meg.
Yeah, and I've got to say, it feels like a hard chase. You know, there's a huge gap between them, and she has a slightly bigger deadlift. I'm sure she's made progress, but Meg is very much in the lead.
unless the wheels fall off for Megan deadlifts. And Angelina, of course, likely to have made some massive strides. Charles
Which
Cummins,
category? He's in 105.
83s,
Is
and
105
ladies and
category mein
gentlemen,
wo.
Russell Orhe left his seat to take in the action in the squat session, and he's returned, but not back to his seat in the crowd. He's in
He's
the booth
probably
with us.
the best in
Russ,
Asia
what did you think about the squat
105
session?
category mein. Russell Orhe is here. Let's hear him.
Good. Seeing Taylor squat that 699 was really good, and then also seeing Joe kind of like actually outdo some of the expectations I have from him.
Yeah, I agree. Taylor is bigger and stronger than ever. Sion 152.5. I had an opportunity to go into the warm-up room and look at Taylor, talk to his dad, and Taylor was, to say locked in is to say the least.
Oh, for sure.
He's different back there.
Yeah, I try to keep it really short when I was back there with him. I just told him like, hey man, you've been here before. This is your moment to go attack.
152 for Sion, looking to get on the board.
You gotta get.
Was there any surprises for you? Delaney missing a lift. Do you think he could come back?
Yeah, I mean, Delaney's been here. Having 2 world titles and also 2 national titles. I think he's a seasoned lifter, so he knows he has to stay in the game. You never know what happens. People come out here and miss, benches or deadlifts, so you have to keep your head in the game and give yourself opportunity towards the end of the meet.
Angelo Fortino, 165. Angelo done a lot of work on his bench press. In prep for this, hit 182.5.
Yeah, finished off with that big 320 squat. Plenty left in the tank, really. Didn't tank himself for the bench or the deadlift.
And he's someone that kind of surprised me as well. Seeing him do that big squat was actually really good, just because he's a big puller. So having that in his arsenal has made him a better lifter.
320 kilos, and it didn't look like he had to overly grind it out by any means, so it shouldn't affect his deadlift. And to your point, Russ, he's got a big deadlift. The battle to get on the podium is going to be fierce. Angelo being able to pull after most of the lifters is going to help. I say most. We don't know where Joey B's deadlift's going to be. He's been a tough one to track.
Yeah, I mean, the kid is a gym monster, so I'm excited to see what he's able to translate to the platform.
And how often do you think you see lifters not being able to translate that to the platform?
I mean, it's pretty common, actually. Sometimes, what you're dealing with on a meet day is going to be completely different than what you're dealing with in the gym. And a lot of lifters don't understand that until they're actually on the platform when the lights are bright.
172.5 for.
He's not wrong. What?
Nice smooth opener for him.
Yeah, that's a good lift. 3 white lights.
ज़मीन क्यों दिखा रहे थे?
And what were your thoughts on Sean Noriega's progress? That squat, wow, big personal best there for him.
Yeah, I mean, it's so interesting because some of these lifters have been in this weight class for very, very long. So it's tough to make gains when your weight is staying the same. And to see him actually PR, I'm pretty sure, on the platform.
Personal, a big one too.
Yeah, that's major for him. So congrats to him.
175 for Sean Jin. Sean struggled on that second attempt, showed a lot of heart, guts to get it out, but the third, it was a big ask.
That's a very comfortable opener.
Yeah.
I just want to wait for the lights from the referees. Yeah, 3 white lights, a good lift. Just kind of double locked it out there at the top. And whose squat were you most impressed with there from the 83s, Russ?
It was honestly a tie between Joe and Taylor. I had Taylor around that number, but just to see him actually come on the platform and do that is great. Seeing Joe compete pretty recently at Raleigh, I think he was able to squat around maybe like 300, or a little around there. So him kind of exceeding what I had for him is really good because, like you guys mentioned earlier, he has a really, really big pull.
Gerald Scott, 175. Yeah, Joe Borenstein, previously in the 83s, at least within the U.S., Angelo Fortino enjoyed having that last pull, so he kind of pick his spot, but might not be the case here today with Joe Borenstein's fast-rising deadlift.
Yeah.
I think the thing that separates the top few in the 83s as well actually does end up being the bench press. Some still benching a little less than them. Makes it a harder job heading into that deadlift.
And the top three guys, you know, you have Delaney, you have Taylor, and you have Joe. They all have really big bench presses. So this, sometimes lifters tend to kind of cruise through bench, but, you know, these top three lifters, they want to stay, you know, within that realm. They have to make sure that they're locked in during this point in time.
Yeah, and Sean Noriega as well with a PR bench of 217.
And that's a discussion point. Cody, 180
Opening up
kilos.
with
We've seen somebody
200
struggle
kg
with bench depth earlier on
at
the women's
83
side.
kg body weight.
And Sean, phenomenal presser. However, not
He's opening
entirely
with 200
accustomed to the
kg.
bench depth rule. And at the national level, let's see. It is a rule that's somewhat controversial. Not always the most consistent. Sean made sure he came out and took a look at that bench press himself to see where the strike zone is. He's a veteran, but can he adjust on the day? It'll greatly impact, if any of the lifters, probably Sean the most.
Nice smooth opener there for Cody. And a good lift, 3 white lights. I mean, based off Sean's opener, you know, it's not super far behind. It's 197.5, so
Borenstein
PR
900.
217, not a million miles off.
I'm
knowing the
excited to witness
217 is
that
from a
live.
competition without the bench depth rule.
Witnessing
I think that
900
opener is going to be
live.
super important. Just kind of
83
gauging how the
mip.
refs are going to call it, because you don't want to, you know, blast, you know, the 197.5 that he has, and then, you know, try to go back to your normal bench technique. That's going to get you.
Oh, that was fast.
190 for Christopher Perez. Yeah, you're right. Of any of the opening benches we're going to see today, everyone's going to lean in a little closer for Sean's and see, is it going to make it? If it does, wow, is the battle on. If it's not,
So Christopher obviously missing out on 2 squats. He is a big bencher himself, but as we said, missing out on 20 plus kilos is just going to have knocked him out.
Delaney Wallace, 192.5.
Top 5 battle.
You always want to capture some momentum, especially lifting.
Delaney,
missing the
Sean,
squat. You wanna
Angelo,
kinda make sure
Taylor,
you're kinda
Joseph.
leaving bench, going through
Top
for
5
three,
battle.
just kind of give some momentum going into deadlifts. So Delaney really
How many
needs to
of
lock
them
in
will?
here and
I
make
think
sure that
all
he's
5
able
can
to
hit
go
850.
for three.
And it's a long day. Other lifters will miss lifts. I'm sure you've missed lifts before and still won.
Of course.
It's all part of the game.
Of course.
Gotta adjust. There we go.
Yeah, very speedy opener for Delaney. Looks comfortable, and like you said, probably gives him a lot of confidence moving forwards.
Whenever you have these high pressure meets and you come in and you start missing lifts, it's very easy to take yourself out of the meet. So once again, you just gotta gain that momentum coming back with getting some of these lifts here.
Now, like you said, Ryan, this is going to be an interesting one, and he seems very hyped up for it. Probably some nerves in there as well.
A little bit of nerves, 197.5 for Sean Noriega. Look, he had a fantastic squat session. The strength is there. He's just got to meet the technical requirements. But if he does, he's on his way to building a monster total.
Yeah, his name is definitely in the hat. Should bench not cause him any issues. Our eyes are on the
See
elbows.
197.5. That should be good.
Strong?
That looks good.
And it is.
Yeah.
3 white lights. Sean meets the standard, and this is big trouble for the other 83s trying to get onto that podium. 197 stays on the bar.
Atwood can
for, in a lot of
definitely
people's
compete,
minds,
but
the
it will
greatest
be
to ever
like
do it, Taylor
very
Atwood.
close second.
Yeah, Taylor's PR on bench, 202.5.
Joseph might have to
kilos
miss
over this,
a
and you
deadlift
know that
attempt
as you go
or
up
fuck
a
up
weight
a
class, usually
second or
you
third
see
bench
the
attempt as
benefit
well
from bench before anything
to
else.
for Atwood to
Interesting
catch
see
up
where he ends
on
up today.
deadlifts.
If his bench is increased like his squat, I'm expecting him to move past
Because
that
squat
PR,
and bench, Atwood is
possibly even on his
gonna
second.
do good and catch up with him, be very close. Deadlift is where the game is gonna change. For
Well, there it is.
anything can
Moves
happen.
smooth,
You never know
and Taylor has his swagger back for years.
when you're in such a high level.
Conversations hovered around Taylor regarding injuries, taking a
Game.
step back. And
Someone
now
can
here
miss
he
an
is,
attempt and then you
Powerlifting
can
America, U.S. Nationals in
take
the
away
83 kilo
the win.
class, battling young
not about
lions
how
like
much.
Joe Borenstein,
जैसे क्रिकेट और फुटबॉल में होता है ना
202.5.
प्रैक्टिस में या ट्रेनिंग ग्राउंड में कितने भी चौके छक्के मारो या कितने भी गोल मारो
Joe
फर्क
again,
नहीं
not
पड़ता है।
opening so far
मैच
with
डे
his
के
PR of
दिन
210.
मैटर करता है कि कौन
You know,
कितना अच्छा
we
परफॉर्म कर
definitely
सकता है
haven't seen
अगर
the best
you can
version of him
reflect
on the platform
your
yet.
same performance
said,
that you do in your
huge
practice
numbers
your
in the
training
gym.
ground
If you follow
On
him
the
online,
match
it felt
day,
like every single week he was hitting another PR.
you win.
Wow. Okay. Wow.
बहुत लोग,
What are we talking about
it's
here?
not the same,
Joe,
if it makes sense.
the
Okay.
facial expression says it all.
Yeah, that's
Dude.
actually insane.
When you go on confident and come off more confident, you know, it's a pretty good feeling.
Oh, to be young and confident again.
That flew 202.
You're confident.
That flew.
I think I'm not. Do you guys think that people understand the gravity of what we're watching right now? We have very high level lifters here in the 83 kg weight class battling it out at nationals. I mean, this is honestly a very special moment.
100%, 160 for Charles Hammonds, and you're absolutely right, Russ. You had announced earlier this year you'll be doing World
that was
Games and then
pretty
moving
clean.
up to 93. In a lot of ways, one door closes, another opens. One chapter closes, another chapter opens. And to an extent, we're watching maybe a passing of the torch, possibly.
Yeah.
You ran this division year after year, and perhaps this is the beginning of a new era. Now, this is early days to be crowning a king for a new era, and it's big talk, but you never know.
Charles Hammonds there just making easy work of a 15-kilo jump.
Cyan, 162.5.
A little cooler and calmer than he came on during his squats. 10-kilo jump here.
Russ, do you still remember your first national title?
Oh yeah, for sure. I think you know, when I competed at Orlando in 2017 at my first Raw Nationals, John Hack was actually front row and center as I was squatting.
Wow.
Yeah. So
almost poetic that this is happening all over again.
Exactly, and I told myself, you know, whenever that day comes where there's going to be, you know, new blood into the weight class, I just definitely want to hand that torch over and congratulate whoever's able to kind of push that weight class forward.
It's important in sports. Cyan handles a 10-kilo jump. 3 white lights.
Yeah, goes up a little side to side, but still moving pretty smoothly there.
Angelo, 175.
Angelo trying to catch up. He has a big pull.
Previous personal best, 170, already above that. Like I said, though, in the gym, see him take 182. I think he's pacing
The
himself.
top
If he's
5 is
gonna
going to
pace
be
for
insane, bro.
the PRs he hit in the
83s.
gym, which that's what they did in the squat, that's where he's probably heading.
As you mentioned before, a huge pull on him, looking to rack up as many kilos here on his bench.
He benches kind of unexpected.
That's interesting.
Now, do you think that's because 10 kilos was a little overzealous? What do you think that was?
You know what? I'm not sure.
See, this
Let
is
me
the
take
thing I was
another look at
talking
this.
about.
That was unexpected.
You never know who
Doesn't seem like
fails
a
which
technical breakdown. His
attempts,
elbows
and
maybe
then
slightly come under, but
someone else
It
can
depends.
sneak in
Sometimes when you're
on
back
the
there in
podium.
the back room, you never really know what goes on between that period between squat and bench. Typically, sometimes if you don't rehydrate properly, that's when maybe the cramps start settling in. So maybe he's dealing with something that we just can't see from our perspective, but that was pretty shocking to see him miss just that 10-kilo jump right there, especially with how smooth of a lifter he is.
Yeah, I would have, well, Jubril, 180. I'll throw it down to the platform as we take a look at this 7.5-kilo jump, and that was relatively smooth in contrast. Yeah, to your point, Russ, the thing is, based off his training, I would have thought PR territory. He can always right the ship here, obviously. He's got another attempt. I'd be shocked if he leaves with
Not
his
expecting
bench
this.
actually decreasing.
I know, right?
Hopefully, draining the tank
That's
on the
why
bench
you,
and
you
fighting
cannot
like that
leave
doesn't
your
impact
seat.
his
You never
deadlift.
know which lifter
Sean Jin,
misses which lift.
185.
It can be technical reason, it can be a failed attempt.
कुछ
भी हो सकता है.
Third squat, as we mentioned before.
And bench is probably the
Maybe
most
looking to make
technical
some better
out of
jumps
all the
here.
3 lifts.
Now, Matt Gary is handling him, and Matt is usually pretty conservative. If he lets you have one like you did in squats, he's going to take control of the
that's
attempt selection afterwards.
good,
Oh,
lockout.
that's
Is that locked?
I don't know.
Well, that's what I thought on his opener, which is why I waited. But he seems to kind of double lock it, and it's a good lift.
It's got to be careful. We're getting close to the edge here.
Yeah, and the thing is, the rule is for the lifter, I suppose, to lock out to the best of their abilities. If that's his lockout,
Russell
it's
Ori is
tough.
trying not
You know,
to
the
say
elbows
anything
won't get
controversial.
more bent than that.
We're getting close anyways. I'm anticipating a small jump for his third. Gerald Scott, 185.
Just getting close to his PR of 187.5.
Oh, that moved quick.
With a smooth second attempt, a lot more there.
7.5 kg more he should go. 10 can be a very risky
Cody
move.
Yeager, 190 kilos, 10 kilo jump.
A couple of these second attempts looking a little tougher. Russ, how do you tend to deal with a second that feels harder than maybe you were anticipating or hoping it would?
I mean, as an athlete, you have to be honest with yourself. Maybe you just don't have it for that particular day, or, you know, you could evaluate your technique and say, like, hey, you know, my foot was slipping here, I could be a little bit better here. But, you know, you have to trust yourself as an athlete. You have to be honest. Sometimes, you know, you might have a slow second, but you really want this number on the third. You end up overreaching and missing it because you weren't honest with yourself as an athlete. So a lot of times you just have to sit back and evaluate, you know, what are things that I could change, if any.
To be a match PR for Cody, should he make this?
Oh. And we're experiencing quite a bit of miss here in this session for the bench press.
See?
What's interesting is Cody was a big bencher back when I first started competing in the 83s. He's been in the 83s for a decent amount of time. So
Yeah,
interesting to miss
This
that.
is what I'm
competing
talking
since
about.
2014, so as you said, it's a long time.
Chris Perez, 200 kilos. 205 is his personal best, and whatever injuries that plagued him in prep, perhaps they didn't plague him in the bench press.
That moved good.
Nice.
I think he has 5 more.
Yeah,
5
very
10
solid
kgs
second
more.
attempt from Chris, and it is a good lift. 3 white lights.
Some of these gentlemen coming out choosing not to use wraps.
Delaney Wallace,
That's not me.
202.5
Yeah, I was about
kg.
to say, some of these guys are just raw dogging bench press. That's impressive.
202.5 for Delaney Wallace, 2-time world champion. Missed his third squat, but it should be noted, still matched his previous personal best in squat, and other lifters are also missing, and these are lifters in the hunt. This happens, it's all part of the game. Delaney, widely veteran, shouldn't rattle him at all.
Yeah, this 202, 5 kilos below his best bench.
Who is that gentleman handling Delaney today, Russ?
Oh, looks like Joseph Flex.
Joseph Franzo?
Joseph Franzo, the Flex Training Systems.
That's right.
Yeah, it's a nice moving second for Delaney there. And
was
a
good.
good lift, 3 white lights, you know, could be on to potentially
Taylor
match that
Atwood,
personal best. What would you say
207.5
the jump would be
kg.
there?
Catching with Joseph Borenstein.
I'd agree with that. And 207.5
Smiling
for
in the back.
Taylor Atwood.
Yeah, already above his PR bench should he get this. He is putting on kilos to his PRs today.
This is turning into a little battle here.
This is turning into a battle.
battle.
Listen, there's a lot of hype on Joseph Borenstein, and people didn't really know where to put Taylor Atwood. We're about to find out. 10-kilo jump, well over his previous personal best. If he hits this and makes it look like a second attempt should, this is by no means a walking for Joseph to that title.
And just with Taylor being in this for so long, he should be able to knock this out the park.
Oh, my
That was
God.
faster than his
sick.
opener. And Joseph Borenstein, the crown
Warming
is
up.
not
Taylor Atwood
yet
is warming
on
up.
your head.
Now,
This
something
is such a, go ahead.
something that will put a spanner in the works, however, it seems like not one but 2 of the 83s
Let me
looking to
check.
get a chip on their total on their second bench.
Sean Noriega, 208.
Yeah,
Sean had a
212.
fantastic squat event. And while some of the members
212,
at the
Joseph.
top end of the 83s have
This
missed,
is a
Sean
national
has
record, I
not.
think.
All
208.
he has to do is replicate what he did on that opening attempt. Try not to think too much and just replicate, once again, what you did on that opener just to make sure that you're able to kind of carry that momentum.
If his deadlift has improved like his squat, I shudder to think.
Oh,
It's a little tougher, as expected. Is it a new
that
national
should be
record?
good, I think.
It is
That's true.
three white
That's
lights.
Collected a chip,
Yeah.
which
National
could prove
record,
to be pivotal.
and then Joe comes in
Yeah, in a battle
with
this tight, a
2-1-2.
chip is going to help, but
400
not the only
kgs
person
above the
looking to
national
get it.
record.
And he should make this fly as well, which is going to be pretty scary.
It's Joe Borenstein, whom every week seemed to be finding more kilos and gaining in strength.
Sean Noriega taking the national record on his second, may only hold it, and probably will for only about 20 seconds with Joe Borenstein coming out now.
Been a long time we've seen Sean Noriega
2-1-2
enter a bench battle and come up second.
He's going to make this fly.
Damn.
Joe Borenstein on another level.
Oh, that moved good.
And just a little look
Oh
into the
my
future.
God.
Taylor Atwood has put 2:16.
He's gonna go for
on
another
his third
record.
and final bench.
I mean, we knew Taylor was strong, but to be breaking national records like this, and he needs
see.
this.
What are they
These
gonna
are
put on?
pivotal kilos.
Taylor Atwood is going for 216. 216. Taylor Atwood third attempt for another record. They're making records after record.
Yeah.
He went for
As
208,
expected, he has
212,
body weight
216.
on all of the other 83s.
And see where he is
the
at.
lightest
He's
of
putting
those in
210.
contention.
What?
167 and a half.
Sean
for
Noriega is
Cyan
putting 210 on
Farley
third.
Thompson.
And Joseph is putting 218.
Oh my goodness.
218 and 216. Oh my god.
For a bench
That's gonna
set,
be
this is
fun.
bench.
Yeah, this is bench. Usually bench is kind of almost like a snooze fest where you kind of check out a little bit. But even so, like with these 83s and even the women as well, it's still very interesting.
Yeah, certainly bringing the drama early on. Started
Yeah,
in the
those
squats,
are national
didn't stop
records.
on the bench, and it
208 was
certainly
the
will not
national
stop for
record,
the
then
deadlift.
212 he did was a national record. Now Taylor Atwood is gonna go for 216, and then Joe is gonna go for 218. Those two are gonna be another
No
national
doubt
record
on
breakers
bench depth
for
there.
them. Bro,
And
bench
then
has
the
never
celebration
been
we
so
expected to
close
see.
and
3 white
exciting.
lights, a good lift, and matches his personal best.
There has been like four
Charles
four
Hammonds,
record attempts going
167
on.
and a half stays on the bar for him.
We are at 2 out of 2 on the national record attempts.
7.5.
Now we have 2
now
more to
looking
go.
to fly past his PR of 162.5 here. Seems like moving up a weight class certainly helped him. Already added 70 kilos to the total from his previous weight class, and these PRs only add on top of that.
My goodness.
My goodness, indeed.
If you're wondering, of the 83s, only Sean Taylor and Joey B have not missed. Oh, good fight on that third.
Oh no.
Wow.
Nice
Yeah,
try.
and of those 3 that haven't missed, as you mentioned, 2 of them already with a chip, 1 of them looking to
Angelo
take a chip.
Fortino, can he get back his 10 kgs
Angelo Fortino looking to take another swing at
catch up
175.
on the top 5? That
I'm not sure what happened on the second, but I've seen people come out,
he can.
make some small corrections.
Yeah, bench being the most technical of the 3 lifts, we often see lifts that look like a failure on strength, and as you said, Ryan, make a slight adjustment and it's a completely different lift altogether.
In terms of strength, he can hit 175.
For sure.
Still, it will be a PR. So it's more than he's ever done on the platform, at least.
Much better.
Oh no.
My goodness,
no,
what is going
no,
on
no,
here?
no, no.
Right up. I'm
Nice try.
surprised, but all is not lost. I know he looks a little disheartened, but he has a huge deadlift.
Yeah, absolutely, and you know, you can't count a deadlifter out. However, he loses maybe 10 to 15 kilos of what
That's
he
a good
expected
call.
to get from bench, and that could hurt him.
Look at, this is a very tight race, and when you have guys on fire like Sean Noriega, Taylor Atwood, and Joey B, it is far more difficult to find that pathway onto the platform. However,
Joe
may
might
fumble
change
as
his
well
attempt
along the
based
way.
on
It's not
what
over yet.
Atwood hits.
185.
And I think
for
Atwood is gonna
Dubreuil.
hit
I mean, you've seen
216
him lift,
pretty
I mean,
easy.
he came in hot with squat. I thought
And
he was
then
Very hot.
momentum
Joe
with
might-
bench, but that's why once again you got to keep your head in the
218
game 'cause you never know what's going to happen.
might be a little 80-20, 20% chance he might not get it.
And that is a good lift, 3 white lights.
Take up the 418 for Sean and Jim.
Not
And
sure,
you never
though. Not
know.
sure. I think
More shakeups can happen. Sean Jin, 190. Now 185 was work. 5 kilo jump. His third attempted squat looked ambitious. This one might be ambitious as well.
This one you're just gonna have to push. Gonna have to lock in and
no,
push
no,
for this one.
218 he has for now. I'm not sure. 220. Yeah, 218. 216 and 218 for now.
And unfortunately, looks like a similar story to his squat there. Not
Yeah, it
happy.
was. He doesn't look like he's very happy.
No, I mean you can see why, but it's about keeping your head screwed on tight now for deadlifts. The day's not done.
It isn't done. That's true. And other people are missing their lifts. You never know where. Look at a top 5 finish in a field this strong. Absolutely an honor to get that far. Cody, 190. 10 kilo jump to his second. You were saying, Russ, you remember him. He's a wily veteran. He's got a big big bench press on him. Can he bring it forth today?
And it's better. Can he push through that
nope.
final part?
Oh.
And that's what you often see with a sink, is that you start to lose power about halfway up, and it's really the toughest part. It's just that final part of the lockout, so it can be very deceiving.
Gerald Scott. Could you imagine? Name for powerlifting. Gerald Scott with 190.
This guy has upper body on him, man.
Some of these 83s, Russ. And Russ, some of them opting for a belt, some of them not. Where do you fall on this belt? I think it's trending now.
I mean, it depends on the lifter. I think it doesn't make the biggest of difference, but it just depends on if you like that quote-unquote extra support.
Gerald looking for a 2.5 kilo PR here with 190.
We have 5 more lifters coming after this. The bench, I think.
As a very well calculated third attempt and a great PR for Gerald.
As we start moving down, 205 next for Chris Perez. Then we got Delaney Wallace, Sean Noriega, Taylor Atwood with a national record attempt. Joey B trying to outdo him. It's going to be high drama and some fireworks.
Interesting to think whether Joey B's current third attempt was their planned attempt, or saw what Taylor did and knew that they had to continue to push as high as possible.
Can you imagine that? The old wily veteran pushing the young gun possibly more than he wants to.
And those
205.
those attempts really start adding up too. When you step on the platform, you know, I need this
Good
lift
call.
in order to push that first place medal.
Delaney
because
Wallace,
a lot of
5
times when
kg
you're
jump,
lifting and maybe you might be the smartest,
207.5.
on the platform. If you're not pushed and you don't be forced to be great, sometimes you start making mistakes.
Taylor Atwood and
Good
Joe
lift for
are
Chris Perez, a much
neck
more
to neck,
successful bench
bro.
press session than he had squat session.
one missed lift and
207.5
the game can change.
for Delaney Wallace. And you're absolutely right, Russ. Look at, it's one thing to be showing up at
Thin
competitions
edge. You're
and
playing on
winning
thin
them. It's
edge.
another to have an all-time great pushing you like this, chasing you like this. How does that feel? If Joey B wins this and earns it the hard way, it says a lot.
Wow.
And
Yeah.
Delaney,
Yeah,
was
matching
good.
his PR there, as we thought might be the play. Looking good. 3 white lights, a good lift, and he is not out the game, ladies and gentlemen, not by any means.
not by any means. And look at his squat. He tied his PR. Bench tied his PR. If he hits
The
a PR
208
deadlift, he might
looked
still
a
have
little
a PR
rough on the
total.
right
Sean
side,
Noriega,
so
though,
keep an eye.
210.
210.
And the thing is, with these 83s, a lot of them do have big pulls, big jumps. One miss changes a lot.
Sean briefly held that national record. Joey B took it from there.
Yeah, not looking to extend it. So if he gets this, of course, gains 2 kilos, loses the chip.
I think this is actually a good idea. 208 was tough. Another 2 kilos it's not for nothing. He might need it if he wants a podium finish or even greater.
Yeah.
Oh, he's
he got it.
strong from that position.
That seems like the right
elbow
move, because
depth
213 would have been
Can be a
the
little
next
push.
jump he
Oh,
needed to
he
make.
got
And
it.
yeah,
Only one.
especially like you said, with the adjustments he's had to make on his bench.
We have some drama here.
We have some drama. Russ, you're sitting in on the right one. 216 for
216
Taylor
right.
Atwood.
Oh,
Yeah, and our
let's
faces
go,
dropped
let's
when
go.
we saw this come in on the board. 216 is huge, bearing in mind, coming into this competition, Taylor, with a PR of 202.5, putting up a fight. Should Taylor and Joe both make their final bench presses, 2 kilos separates them in
Wow.
prognosis.
Man,
It's a tight one.
this is fun.
this pin drop silence.
Let's see here.
Oh,
Taylor Atwood,
That flew.
216 is good.
that
Three
flew.
white
Oh
lights.
my
I'll tell
god.
you what, it was not
Ah.
a limit lift. Taylor is so strong. The 83 kilo class suits him so well. It's going to be a
Let's see
dogfight.
218.
Man, he had some left in the tank too.
Yeah, he did.
Russ,
Scary.
it hasn't yet been decided
Yeah,
who you're
let's
putting
go.
that crown on.
Yeah. He's gonna blow this up too. It's
Wow, he's being pressed like you said,
yeah,
Russ.
he's being pressed. But he's very confident, and I like his swagger. I think he's gonna get this. He's gonna make it look really, really easy.
Yeah, it would give him another 6 kilos. And like I said, it will put him 2 kilos ahead of Taylor on
218.
prognosis.
A little bit of character building for the young man, 218.
Fight.
Manages to fight it through. It was a little
That's
tougher,
good.
but if he gets it,
He got it.
I think it
And
should be
Joey
good.
B
Oh my god.
replies back to Taylor.
Let's go.
It's not your era, it's
Let's
mine.
go.
Wow.
it is yet to be seen who will walk away 83 kilo champion. And I think a lot of people thought Borenstein would walk in and take it, but he's going to have to fight.
As we take a look at the 83s, just 2 kilos separate Taylor Atwood and Joseph
Deadlift is gonna be
Borenstein.
sick.
Sean Noriega and Delaney Wallace toe-to-toe to make it onto the platform. We have battles for first, battles for the podium. Russ, what is your impression of the 83 so far?
This has been amazing. I'm sitting here as a spectator just watching greatness. I mean, like we've been saying, you have Joe Borenstein, the young gun that's coming in, Taylor Atwood, the 74 GOAT that has now moved up to 83. You have Delaney, that's a 2-time world champion, then Sean that has been around in this weight class for a very, very long time, still hanging around and still making this interesting. So this has been amazing.
Thank you for sitting in for this.
Sure.
You're the perfect sprinkle to add on to this already sizable.
If you need me, the bench was amazing to watch. So it's like
Yeah.
I'm just here.
And don't go anywhere. We'll take a short 10-minute break and return for the dramatic conclusion of the
Deadlift is gonna start
63s, the 69s, and the 83s.
Grab your popcorns, grab your food, water, पानी, नाश्ता, जो चखना, जो भी लाना है लाओ जाके. मैं भी फटाफट वॉशरूम जाके आता हूँ. थोड़ा 10 मिनट लगेगा इसको चालू होने में. वैसे ही गाने प्ले कर देते तब तक. हाँ, विमेंस डेडलिफ्ट होगा पहले 63 and 69 विमेंस डेडलिफ्ट होगा एंड देन मेंस का होगा. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 women है. Tw 12 women है. They'll deadlift first and then we have मैं आया 2 मिनट में आया. Taylor Atwood is Taylor Atwood is ahead right now by 10.5 kg अभी सब total में, but Joe is gonna open with a bigger deadlift, so he'll catch up that 10.5 kg gap on his deadlift. That's the story. Atwood is at 533.5 for now, and he's at 523. But he's opening with 330 deadlift, so he'll catch up that 12.5 kg here. इधर डिफरेंस आ गया ये 12.5 kg का, जो इधर 10 किलो का फर्क है. If it makes sense, ऐसा हो जाएगा when they hit both of their opener deadlifts. I don't know Atwood का deadlift third attempt क्या होगा based on जो दोनों का पीआर क्या है, मुझे पता नहीं है दोनों का पीआर क्या है. बेस्ड ऑन देयर ट्रेनिंग नंबर्स दोनों का डेडलिफ्ट पीआर क्या है, किसी को पता है? 517 नहीं हुआ, 523 हुआ. जो का 523 हुआ है और टेलर एटवुड का 533.5 हुआ है. तो 10.5 kg का डिफरेंस है. बट जो इज ओपनिंग विथ 12.5 kg bigger deadlift, so he'll catch up that gap on the subtotal. Let me quickly check their training numbers. क्या है?
Taking a look at the 63 kilo class, and Megan Scanlon with a projected, and this takes a hold of the opening deadlift and adds it to the subtotal, 541. Big spread over Angelina Martinez, and Angelina at a certain point might look to defend her silver medal as Hannah Peterson 480 and Sydney Hunter 470.
Yeah, it seems at this point that the silver is what is in her future, subject to change if there is a big miss there from Megan.
Celine Crum, 541.5. Gabby Martinez very close behind her, 537. And Jackie Malater, 535, with only 6.5 kilos separating the big three in the 69 kilo class. Most deadlift jumps are bigger than 6.5 kilos. We're literally talking about one attempt away for
Taylor
any
का
of these
deadlift
ladies.
is
Yeah,
training
Celine in the
में
lead,
not
of
looking
course,
that huge.
Gabby with the bigger
Joe
deadlift.
has hit
Jackie and Celine, very similar PRs on their deadlift.
Joe has hit 860 kg multiple times. एक बार उसने दूसरे कंपटीशन में भी हिट करा है पिछले साल, एंड देन ट्रेनिंग में भी हिट करा है. टेलर का आई हैव सीन 320 330 समथिंग, बट आई एम नॉट श्योर ही विल कैच अप विद 360 सम इतना.
Michelle Liu up next, 175. Michelle,
Maybe 350 on his third attempt. I don't know. It's all depends on how much he can pull on his third deadlift attempt and how close he can be. If Joe has 12 kg 12.5 kg advantage on his deadlifts on Taylor, Joe is gonna win easy. If he can keep that 10-12 kg gap, Taylor, then it will be close.
Hopefully build upon that from here.
175 for Ashley Hodge.
Already with her opening deadlift, leaves her just 10 kilos below her PR total.
Yeah, he can hit 370 probably. 3777, I don't think so. He'll load up that huge of a number based on दोनों का second attempt क्या होगा उसके ऊपर decide होगा कि how big of a jump and how big of a risk he wants to take on his third, and if he wants to make a statement or just want to win gold. वो उस पे depend करेगा.
Very snappy opener there.
But Sheffield का Russell Ory का performance was 870 kg. तो I think 870 तो he has in the bag. If he hits 360, that's gonna be 883 somewhere.
As they are no longer on threat of possibly bombing out should they miss.
Yeah, the majority of these ladies, pullers over 200 kilos. That is a good lift. 3 white lights.
एक क्वेश्चन पूछना था
Haley Sheehan,
मेरे को.
187.5 in the 69 kilo class.
Might sound a little wrong, but मैंने फीमेल विमेंस पावर लिफ्टिंग इतना फॉलो नहीं करा है पहले कभी. कल मैं देख रहा था जब मैं 74 और उसके पहले का कैटेगरी देख रहा था 53s एंड जो भी विमेंस का था. Yeah, this thing
Nice easy opening there for Haley.
I'm talking about. If you guys can see the same thing that I'm watching, I saw a lot of women dealing with that on on their deadlifts. So I wasn't sure if it's this a thing or ki, I don't know if we should talk about this, but
Abigail Bush pushing for that podium position. Has to fight Sydney for that. Still a lifter from the earlier session, holding on.
किसी को कुछ आइडिया इस चीज़ के बारे में तो प्लीज़ थोड़ा मुझे नॉलेज चाहिए.
Historically struggled in the deadlift event, bit of a subtotal specialist, and has really evened out her game as a three lifter.
Yeah, no longer can you really be a specialist in powerlifting. You have to be strong across the board.
Unless your name is Inohoro. Unless you're an 83 and you load up over 400 kilos.
You will always try to pull for the win.
That's right. $195.
318.
That's a huge total already.
No, it's pretty common. I haven't seen this in men's powerlifting, but I've seen this. It's very common in women's deadlift.
Yeah, that's what I'm
जो
saying.
कल भी डेडलिफ्ट हो रहा था जो
Attempts for openers.
multiple athletes,
Misses the leg, which just seems unlikely. Now they just need to pace themselves.
I saw that happening. So that was the first time I actually witnessed इतना. I have heard about it. I've seen Instagram पे एक दो बार, but seeing so many athletes dealing through that.
And it is very, very speedy off of the floor and at lockout. And a good lift, 3 white lights.
Jackie Malater up next. 200 kilos for her as well.
Google it now. No. Let's just watch the deadlifts first. We'll Google it later. For tomorrow. Tomorrow is gonna be the second exciting day of Powerlifting America. 93s. Gavin, Aiden, Jonathan Kaiko, all those people.
Easy work. Lots more where that came from.
Yeah, plenty left in the tank. And currently out of 3 on prognosis.
We'll watch that 93s.
And
कल
his body weight
उसके पहले we'll
behind.
figure it out.
Yeah, it's still way too close to call.
Yeah, it really is anybody's game now. They've got to keep making lifts.
210 kilos for Angelina Martinez.
Now, regardless, should she get this, which I can't imagine a world where she doesn't.
She's previously hit 225, but prep has gone very, very well.
Yeah, same time tomorrow.
Deadlift of 5 kilos, total PR with 500 kilos. Only looking to extend that.
83s and 93s ये दो सबसे stacked रोस्टर था इनका पावरलिफ्टिंग अमेरिका. कल 59 एंड 74 विमेन हुआ, सॉरी मेन 66 एंड 74. आज 83s था क्योंकि दे हैव सो मेनी पीपल इन 83s, जस्ट 83s. कल शायद 93 एंड 105 दोनों है क्योंकि 105 में ज़्यादा लोग नहीं है, बट 93 इज गोना बी सिक. 120 और वो वाला नहीं देख पाएंगे शायद क्योंकि काम होगा मंडे को, फिर बाद में तो मुश्किल होगा. बट आई विल मेक श्योर कि कल वी ट्राई टू वॉच दैट. कैफीन लेना पड़ेगा बस मेरे को थोड़ा, क्योंकि आई एम वर्किंग मॉर्निंग 7 से लेकर 4 तक, आई थिंक 7-8 से लेकर दोपहर के 4 बजे तक, एंड देन ये शुरू होगा 6:30 बजे 6 बजे. तो मेरे को या तो नैप लेना पड़ेगा या तो कैफीन लेना पड़ेगा दिखने के लिए कल का.
The records are not on their mind, but the chips probably will be.
Fair statement. All the chips going to count.
Keep watching the deadlifts. Keep watching the deadlifts. That flew.
Wow, it's got to be said, of the big three, first probably moved the best. Now it's an opener. Let's see how the finals move.
I would have to agree with you, not just how the rest move, but the choices that the coaching teams make.
182.5 for Amy Chang in the 69 kilo class.
She always has a smile before she goes for the lift. Conventional. Oh, nice.
Nice smooth second, making easy work of a
And
12.5 kilo jump.
That's not happening on conventional. That's only happening on sumo. वो भी notice करना. मैंने conventional में नहीं होते हुए देखा वो चीज़. मैंने सिर्फ sumo में देखी वो चीज़.
Michelle getting a 10 kilo jump here. You know, outside of the shaky bench press, she went 3 for 3 in squats. Has an opportunity to go 3 for 3 in deadlifts. And overall 7 for 9, not a bad day.
Yeah, matched her best squat on her third. This matches her best deadlift on her second.
Do you think sumo go more easy than conventional or vice versa?
Even as it gets a little bit more
For
difficult
smaller lifters,
to want a good lift,
sumo makes it easier
sufficient lockout.
depending on their technique.
You know,
A lot of
lifters,
people,
when they clasp the belt
so
and they deadlift,
even including me,
you feel it in the torso.
I'm pretty new to sumo.
Looked
अभी
like she
मैंने
was fighting
sumo
the
शुरू
feeling
करा
like
मुझे
that Ashley Hodge
6 महीने 7 महीने हुए.
185.
And sumo भी मैं इस तरह से उठाता हूँ कि either I'm squatting it या मेरा conventional lift जैसा ही दिखता है वो. So I'm not getting a huge advantage of sumo, but people who are good at sumo technique on the lighter weight categories, yeah, it's a advantage I feel. But the bigger categories में conventional और sumo I feel almost same हो जाता है. The 93 105 में जाओगे ना, 105 से के close जाओगे, so it's pretty much the same.
Very snappy, very
But
smooth. Could have fooled me if that was
for lighter lifters to put up big numbers, and conventional is very taxing to the body.
So not chips to play around with there, not yet.
बहुत टोल लेती है बॉडी conventional heavy lifting करने में.
7.5 for Molly Hendricks
बड़े
in
attempts
the
करोगे
62
2-3
kilo
बहुत
class.
ज़्यादा fatigue होगा compared to sumo. Oh,
A little bit of issue with the lockout there. Very quick to pop out of that position, Ryan.
It was a little unexpected. We got a replay.
Still has that opportunity on her third. Let's see what happened there.
Hard to tell from there.
Yeah, maybe just her thighs getting in the way a little bit, you know, with bigger quads. Hard to say. Usually that's an issue in conventional.
Haley Sheehan, 200 kilos even in the 69 kilo class.
12.5 kilo jump from her opener. And that is tough off the floor, and it, I have to say, looks like it is a strength issue, Ryan. Got a white light?
what? White
I was
light?
going to say one judge being generous. I thought I was a softie. Abigail Brosh,
White light for a failed
202.5
lift.
in the 63 kilo class.
$63.
Coming into
Megan
this, I
is
thought
still
maybe Angelina
way
might finish
ahead.
off with around
63 में.
520. Looking like
69 में I
if she
think
gets her second, she's at 510.
what was her name? C से कुछ नाम था.
Abigail hits that second. And it's a bit of a preview, although Megan Scanlon out of reach. The fast progress on Angelina. This could be a rivalry next year. Speaking
What's
of Megan
my
Scanlon,
PRs?
210 now.
My
15
PRs
kilo jump.
are looking very rough right now.
Megan not pulling
But
punches. What's
ये
that?
साल
This is
के end
5
तक
kilos below her
it
PR,
will
and
improve a
to be
lot
putting out these kind of
क्योंकि
numbers so
now I'm starting to
soon
focus on
after
more
Sheffield
powerlifting
just goes to show
style
what
of
kind
lifts.
athlete that she
मैंने
is.
powerlifting
And
जनवरी
how
दिसंबर से शुरू
seriously
करी है
she is
क्रिसमस के
taking
बाद
this
से.
respect that she's
उसके पहले तक I
showing
was doing
Angelina.
bodybuilding, power building. तो अभी इंट्रोड्यूस
You
कर रहा हूँ
might let us take a
powerlifting
peek at
लास्ट
the
3 महीने
biggest
से
total
अपने
we see in the 63 kilo class
ट्रेनिंग रूटीन में. तो
all time.
This is for a
deadlift I
5
have done 240
kg
kg,
total. This is a national
squat I have
total
done
record
235
for
kg,
Meg.
and bench 145 150 kg.
And Megan Scanlon proving to be in a league of her own.
Celine, yeah, Celine.
Celine Crum, 215 kilos for her second attempt.
Yeah,
Women's
this is
division की
56.5
goat is
total on her second.
Agatha
And
Sitko.
this will be for a
She
national total record as well.
she
Currently
can
leading
compete
the
in like
charge
2-3 weight
69s,
categories and can win it all.
still very
Her
much
total is
an open
like
game.
the best in 3 categories probably,
Second attempt already.
and she has competed in multiple
surpassing her
categories.
previous
She's
best
like
total.
Joel Bucklund as well. Like Bucklund ने भी 66 में अभी शेफील्ड जीता, 74 में यूरोप जीता, and he can compete in 83s
there's
as well.
more there too, Amelia.
Yeah, and it is smooth. She has not a huge gap between herself and her competitors, but 3 or 4 kilos, which, should she make the last pull, it is a tough gap to close.
Conventional.
On top of jump.
We saw it
already
in
pretty
first
sizable.
conventional,
Well, looking to close that
so
jab.
it can happen in
That
conventional
jab,
too. So it's not a
Jackie,
sumo
the
thing.
leader, 215, 15 kilo jump, and that's how you start closing gaps.
Yeah, and if you can see on the screen, if successful, it moves her from third into second. Now be ahead.
Love that
Oh, Gabby.
overlay. Helps us do our job there. Yeah, look at that. 15 kilos, third to second. Still got another round to go.
He's a 6.5 behind Celine. If successful.
Wow, 15 kilos barely
was good.
slowed her down. Jackie still has her eyes on the prize.
And I can only imagine the sorts of games we're going to see with deadlifts changing in that third round, then pushing each other.
Angelina
They're touching
currently at
500s.
500 kilo total.
63 women's are
Bump her up
touching
to
500s now.
510.
That's sick.
Big 15 kilo total PR. This is 5 kilos below her best deadlift.
Imagine they're
and she is
lifting same
progressing
as
at a scary rate.
most of the guys. Closer to my PRs probably.
Definitely somebody to watch. Oh, a little bit of trouble, but she
Lockout,
keeps
lockout.
pulling it through.
Lockout.
She's got heart. Nails that one. I think she'll get it, but that was difficult. Oh, she looks. She tells.
That was like a PR.
Bill, we're okay, but that was
David
definitely a
Wilson.
fight.
Yeah, and it
One
would
of the
be a big
goats
ask for anybody to snatch silver
sumo
off of
deadlift.
her.
Yeah, she needed that. 222.5 for Sydney Hunter. And she looks fired up for this one. 10 kilo jump. Now, I've seen her in prep. She can grind if she has to when it comes to the deadlift. She's a conventional puller.
Conventional
Yeah, definitely favors the
222.5,
grind in that
man.
conventional position.
That
To leave her just 5 kilos
conventional
below her best in
222.5
competition. That's not to
kg.
say what she's been doing in prep.
at 63 body
This'll
weight.
also move her temporarily onto the platform.
That's crazy work. Oh my god.
And there's that little bit of fight you spoke
Oh.
about. Still seems like she has room left in the tank.
She does. Yeah, she could fight all day. She's a fighter when it comes to these deadlifts. And we were saying earlier, it's going to be a battle to get onto the podium, but when you have a weapon like a deadlift and you're able to grind, she can load up what she needs. Still, we'll see how it shakes up. 227.5 for Gabby Martinez.
They're
This will move her,
battling
again,
for the
one more
second
round of deads
place.
to go, but temporarily from third to second.
And maybe had the easiest opener of the entire flight, as well as the heaviest. 227.5 is a huge pull, 5 kilos below her best. And they're gonna all have to get to that top end to fight for the crown today.
The benefit of pulling last, she knows exactly what she needs to load. She's gonna make it onto Team USA.
They're getting closer
and
to my
return
PRs.
to IPF Worlds. She's been there before. Can she make it back?
Oh,
Well, at the
that-
top end, you can see
she
why
has
now.
like
Just
235,
as easy as her
240,
opener.
somewhere
Like you
between
said,
235, 40.
That is why she represented Team USA last year, Ryan.
Yeah, listen, after Celine and Jackie are done, they are not out of the woods. Gabby will have the last say.
Yeah, and Celine and Gabby both with chips. Celine with body weight ahead of Gabby. Jackie with body weight ahead of Celine and Gabby. It's tight.
Molly Hendricks, 190, missed 187 and a half. Weren't sure what happened there.
Thoughts on Singha,
Opting to go up
the
2.5
famous powerlifter
kilos?
in India?
Yeah, it just seemed to pop at the top. The speed
No
was
thoughts as
pretty
such,
okay,
but
as you'd expect a second,
he's-
but a quick
he's
fail at the
probably
top. See if she can change
the
something up
guy,
here for a 190
the one guy
deadlift.
who has brought the most amount of eyes to the powerlifting sport in India. ये मेरा मानना है कि before him, the powerlifting as a sport in India
Similar sort of place where she struggled
was
there.
not that
Yeah,
kind
it
of
was a little
huge,
higher. This was
huge.
just that lockout
but just
previously.
because of his
We
name
weren't sure what it
and
was.
just
Nevertheless,
it
got
can
her
be negative or
openers to
positive.
find
I'm not
total.
saying कि positive way में
Michelle
negative
Wu,
publicity भी publicity होता है, positive
190.
publicity भी publicity होता है, but उसको success या fail होने के लिए देखने के लिए
And if successful, this will
हजारों
be
लोग देख रहे हैं वो
boy.
sport. तो that's good for the sport, I believe. कि powerlifting sport के लिए अच्छा है. Singha is probably the best person इंडिया में जो powerlifting sport को सबसे ज़्यादा audience ला रहा है. बाकी as a athlete he'll keep growing. He's very young. Powerlifting sport में
Whoa, nice,
Nice.
fight on Michelle's last pull.
पावरलिफ्टिंग स्पोर्ट में कोई 1-2 साल में बहुत बड़े बड़े जंप नहीं ले लेता है.
Unfortunately, 2 to
You have to
1
keep
low
working for
lift.
years and
We'll
years.
look at the replay.
आज
She
भी
gets
अपन ने
a
जो
red from the
83s में
left-hand
देखा
side and a
athletes,
blue from the far
इंक्लूडिंग
side of the
रसल
screen.
ओरी या हो गया या जो भी हो गए, they are competing for
Blue would
probably
be
last
for
8
supporting
years,
the guys, and red
9
is not
years,
happy with
10
the
years
lockout.
at the national level. उसके पहले लोकल लेवल पे तो compete कर ही रहे होंगे, बट नेशनल लेवल पे 5-5 10-10 साल compete करते हैं, तब जाके they become the goat of the sport. क्योंकि इसमें
This
स्ट्रेंथ
7.5
ऐसा एक चीज़ है कि वो
kilo personal
हर
best
साल
to
थोड़ा
make
थोड़ा
this
थोड़ा
10
थोड़ा
kilos
बढ़ते ही
per
जाएगा,
second.
तुम्हारा जितनी ट्रेन करोगे. अगर तुम वही कैटेगरी में रह रहे हो तो सिंघा हैज़ अ लॉट ऑफ ग्रोइंग टू डू एज एन एथलीट. बाकी जैसा बोला बेस्ट है स्पोर्ट के लिए तो. नाइस.
Oh, Titanic
Oh,
effort.
that was
She
a good
locks it
call.
out. Nice
10
third
kg.
attempt selection by her coaches.
Oh, let's
Is a good
go.
lift. Really white lights for
Yep.
Amy. Ashley locked in there.
Ashley Hodge, 195 for her final pull.
A little eager there when going out before the bar was called. She's ready though. 5 kilo PR on deadlift. Matched total PR.
A few more lifts, I think.
Nice third attempt as well. I think they got
छः
all they could out of their lift.
छः और लिफ्ट है आई गेस. मतलब लास्ट अटेम्प्ट ही चल रहे हैं.
2 to 1, that
नहीं.
200 kilo milestone
हाँ,
will be hers very soon.
लास्ट अटेम्प्ट ही चल रहे हैं, 5-6 बचे हैं.
200 kilos even for Haley Sheehan.
लास्ट 5 or 6 attempts.
be taking this after missing it on her second.
Then it's gonna be the
Taking
most
it into that
awaited
top
battle
5 position.
of
for the time
Powerlifting
being.
American Nationals this year, 2025. We're gonna get at the edge of our seat as 83 starts. Nine.
Nope, not on the day. Abigail Brosh, 215 for her final pull.
215.
63 kilo class. Abigail.
And I'll tell you this, after Abigail takes her final pull, every single attempt to follow will be for some sort
आ
of
जाओ
record.
चकना लेके आ जाओ.
Yeah, whether
मैं Greek yogurt खा रहा हूँ तब तक.
or the deadlift record. And we have 6 more pulls, so that should tell you the class we're talking about here.
Absolutely incredible, Abby.
It's successful, temporarily moving her into third.
Yeah, of course we have Sydney to follow.
Oh, she almost went out with her.
That's how ready she is for this pull.
That's right.
215.
Locked in.
Oh, that's sick.
Huge final pull for Abigail Brosh.
Big heart.
215, it's good.
And you can see how much that means to her. What a day she has had.
Great day for Abigail.
Yeah, went 9 for 9. Has done
Megan
what she
Scanlon,
can to get herself
220,
onto the
probably
podium. She can just sit and wait what
the
Sydney,
gold.
see what Sydney Hunter does now.
Yep.
220, Megan
She's
Scanlon.
way ahead from
This
the
is for the total
podium.
record. She's at 556.
Oh, fuck.
This will push her to 566. Unofficial world record.
Yeah, and Meg has never pulled this in competition. 220, a huge pull.
We are eyeing up the greatest 63 kilo performance of all time should she hit this.
Not just warning shots to the 63s in this flight, but warning shots to the 63s across the world.
Oh.
Megan Scanlon, the greatest 63 that ever lived. Yes!
Yeah.
And there you have it.
What a
63
performance
ka
from Megan Scanlon.
record.
She didn't
Total record.
just come up and do token lifts. She came out and gave the best performance we've ever seen from a 63 kilo lifter in the world.
Jackie Malater now, 222.5. Look at Megan carrying her energy right over to Jackie.
Let's go.
Wow.
And this, if successful, as you can see, will pull her into pole position for the time being. The first to pull of the big three in the 69s. Will give her a 557.5 total, a national record. And then she can just sit and wait to see how the rest unfolds.
Look at these guys. The love and support. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Oh,
Got the
hard
lockout.
luck.
I was about to say Jackie locks
Hard
it
luck,
out.
hard luck.
No, her knees locked early. You can see here in the replay, and that would have really hurt her. So Jackie now out of the race. It is a two-woman race.
Still finishes on the podium, needs to be said, in a national level, nothing to scoff at. Celine the Machine now, 225. Currently in first, needs to put this
10
out of
kg
reach
jump.
for Gabby, who has a monstrous deadlift.
Yeah, if Celine pulls this, Gabby would have to pull.
She has to pull this. She has to pull
242.5
this.
kilos, which is a huge ask.
She
The
has
second
to pull
was
this. If
46
she fails, then
from
the other girl
Celine
will win.
Crum to make that a hard pull for Gabby Martinez, looking for the crown today.
These are monster totals. Who is going to go to IPF Worlds?
Conventional 225. That. Oh, she got this. Yep. Let's go.
The ball is on your side of the court.
Oh, now she has to pull a bigger.
Good lift, as you said. Now Gabby has to answer, and not just that. In order to take that ticket to Germany from Celine,
It's gonna be a close one now for the third
242.5,
deadlift for Gabby.
10 kilos over her best ever deadlift.
First, returning to the 63 kilo class, Angelina Martinez, 227.5. We thought 220.
तीन deadlift बचे. तीन deadlift बचे, guys.
Yeah, a huge effort here, I believe, for a deadlift record attempt. Absolutely huge day from Angelina.
Oh no.
Off the ground, no. Not on the day.
2 more attempts to go.
Perfect day nonetheless, and she has let us see a glimpse into the future.
A lot of potential for that young lady. And Sydney Hunter, 230 kilos being loaded. You could see Sydney's intensity. Oh my Lord.
So she momentarily dropped it to 225. They brought it back up to 230.
Yeah, imagine the conversation with the coach. She must have seen it get dropped and said, "Excuse me, sir, I don't think so. I came here for a fight." And Sydney can fight.
It's gonna be a tough one. Her last lift, and she's doing conventional, from what I remember.
She's pulled before for a PR deadlift and total for a bronze medal at the national level.
That's intensity. Yup. जैसा मैं बोला था, based on her last attempt. 'Nice try though. 242.5 Gabby Martinez for the podium. Her last 2 attempts looked like a warm-up. बहुत easy गए थे. 235.40, I think she has it. 242.5 is a big jump.
This, Ryan, is a mammoth pull.
Fuck. This is make or break. If she gets this, she's first and represents America.
And will be sent 2 years in a row. The current
If she misses, she's second.
champion looking to
Still second.
keep the crowd
Her second position is
firmly in
fixed.
her head. She has the last say.
We said it'd come down to the very last deadlift, and here we are.
I think she should get it. Oh! Damn! Fuck.
Ditch out a reach for on the day, and Celine Crum, your 63 kilo
Nice fight.
national
Nice
champion,
fight.
realizes 69 kilo national champion. Sorry, realizes her dream of going to IPF Worlds representing her nation. What a great battle as we take a look at the standings.
Now the real battle starts. Now we gotta get to the edge of our seat.
566. Angelina Martinez 510. And of course the 69. Celine Crum punching her ticket to Worlds. Gabby Martinez
Let's
behind
go.
her, and Jackie Malater just 2 kilos behind.
Battle of the
Gabby.
83s.
It has
Conclusion.
been an incredible battle right until the last deadlift, and I promise you the same will go here for the 83s.
Cody Yeager, 260 kilos, opens up the deadlift session for the 83s.
Nice easy opener there for Cody. Good lift, 3 white lights.
Cyan Farley Thompson, 290 kilos for his opening pull.
Let's go.
Easy work.
Has got steadily more serious as the day has gone on.
300
Chris
deadlift
Perez,
starts.
300 kilos even.
A lot of people are gonna put 300 on their first attempt.
He's pulled as heavy as 335, but something went wrong in that squat session. I'm assuming it's going to plague him. I'm actually a little surprised to see 300 kilos loaded.
Yeah, there's still a lot of question marks around that squat session. So interesting to see if any of those disappear as we head into deadlifts.
He's got heart. There's no question about that. Wow.
That flew.
Okay.
That was easy.
It is very, very easy. No question marks disappeared, but I'm happy to see an easy opener.
305.
Sean Jin, 305.
The plates are so
Interesting.
new and shiny,
To take a look at the attempt selection for his
Like,
dead squats.
just out of the
He was
factory.
reaching a little heavy on his third. Bench reaching a little heavy.
Yeah, you've got to think they had a conversation after bench to perhaps readjust.
You have 3 more bullets in your gun. You want to use all 3.
Sean-
Make the adjustments.
Yeah, and
That's a good opener.
Sean is a great deadlifter.
That was easy.
Probably where he feels one of the more confident. So hopefully that carries through.
Gerald Scott, 305 stays on the bar for him.
Five.
Wow,
Yeah, that was fast. That was snappy.
very, very easy opener for Gerald.
315. Delaney Wallace.
Delaney Wallace, 315. And Delaney scrapping it out with Sean Noriega to get on that platform.
Yes, Delaney, the lighter of the two.
मजा आएगा अभी.
So currently on prognosis.
Top
match
5
on total,
is all about
by body
who
weight.
is not gonna miss their
The
attempt.
exact same deadlift opener. It'll be tight.
Oh, that was quick and
That
easy.
was fast.
It was fast. And a good lift, 3 white lights.
Like if Delaney has previously hit 330 on deadlifts, the way 315 moved, I don't think his top end is 15 kilos away. 315 stays on the bar for Sean Noriega, who is having the day of his life.
Yeah, and it'll be very interesting to see, as they are so matched both in total and deadlift openers, comparatively how this moves.
Oh,
Question answered.
bro.
And now, begs
Bro
the
is warming
question
up
of
on the
the kind of
platform.
jump he's going to make now, having seen what Delaney's put in.
Taylor Atwood is here.
317.5.
Let's
Taylor
go.
having quite the day himself. Opening pull will already put him at 851.
Wow. Is this the best we've ever seen Taylor?
Oh,
Which is remarkable to say. He's arguably the greatest of our generation. honest, I don't even know if that's arguable.
Oh,
Wow. Lot more
that was
there.
quick and easy.
Yeah, even with a slight shift off the ground, moved very, very well. A lovely opening attempt.
थोड़ा सा आगे
3 white lights, a good lift.
बार चला गया था जब लिफ्ट करना स्टार्ट किया, but that was good.
And as we said, a lot to shift around as the second
Oh,
pad is
भाई
headed
singlet
through.
ऊपर डालना भूल गए.
4 openers left to come.
Jubril 325, yeah. Yeah, I've already come to terms with the fact I'm probably not going to sleep tonight, Amelia. A little too excited.
After a few battles like this, who can blame you? Adrenaline is high in this room.
भाई अपना बेल्ट और वो भूल गए. Let's see second attempt. What are they putting? Oh, Joe has changed his attempt. Fuck. Joe has changed his first attempt. He's opening with the national record. He's opening with 355. He's opening with 355. We were talking about if he'll hit the 900 mark or not. He's opening with 355.
325.
Little trouble with the lockout.
Yeah,
I'm hoping it was okay.
I was about to say, I don't know if he almost didn't get that command or almost beat it. He gets it 2-1.
He changed his first attempt, guys. 330 ke jagah he's opening up with 355. That's the national record. He's opening with it. Opening up first attempt is with 355. We didn't even realize this thing until now. Taylor Atwood has put 342.5. That's also a record on the second attempt.
The 83 kilo class globally having blown up in the last year. And these totals could contest a lot of those
Bro,
numbers.
Joe is here to make a statement. That is a statement now. Opening up with the national record on the.
Oh,
Damn that.
My, oh my.
blink and you miss it. Gives a bow to the crowd.
We are seeing some excellent opening attempts here.
330 for Angelo Fortino.
What do you guys think about
As
that?
we mentioned before, a huge puller, personal best of 360.
What do you guys think about Joe
This flight by
opening
Charles,
up
who
with
we've just seen.
355?
Joseph Borenstein, though, opening with 355. That was smooth. That was smooth. He's back on track. Leave the bench behind. Angelo, I saw him in prep. Pull up the 365.
355.
Here is
Opener
Joseph
for the opener.
Borenstein, 355. That is a monstrous
Ah,
deadlift.
Yeah, it's only up from here.
He's
5
upped
kilos
the
below
total of
national best.
Sheffield.
What is the total he's
Russell
doing
Uri's
on
Sheffield,
today?
I
This will
think.
give him an 878 total. The best we've seen him is 865.
Just putting in perspective, that's an unofficial world record with his opening pull.
The cameras are out. People are on their feet to watch this opening attempt, Ryan.
Russell Orhe at Sheffield did 870, and here we are, 878 on an opener, and Joe is a junior. This is unthinkable.
Yeah, we forgot the fact that he's still a junior and he's competing in open.
I mean, he's turning naysayers into believers.
We completely forgot the fact that he's still a junior.
Yeah.
We're starting to see emerge.
Hook grip. Oh.
How is this young man
That's a statement.
at this level? Look at him with disdain walking off.
That is
Ah,
no surprise,
ouch.
a good lift for Joseph Borenstein. Wow.
At this point, he's telling his handler, load up whatever you want.
History already made beating Russell's total, but like I said, paces himself.
Russell's
for maybe at least
Sheffield total has been
900
broken
kilo
now.
total.
I mean,
I'm just saying, we're 20.
And that's just first deadlift attempt. Abhi do deadlift attempt और
no,
बचे.
it's entirely within the grasp. Cody Yeager, 275 in.
Fuck. I want to see
What
what
is
he
Taylor
puts
gonna
up
end
on his
off as
second
well?
attempt.
I mean, it's just such a sensational
Let's
session
see,
we've
let's see.
had.
Yeah, obviously looking at that
Still hasn't put up his
Sorry, go
second
ahead.
attempt.
is absolutely incredible. But
377.
what's that?
He 377. He's going for 377 on the second attempt.
Opener.
That's a
Kind of
bold,
feels
bold,
like
bold,
we're
bold,
flying all
bold
over the
fucking
place.
move. He could have. If he misses that by any means, Taylor is gonna grasp and win the gold.
Good lift for Cody, 2-1.
877 load up किया है second attempt
Cody
में.
Thompson, 310 kilos.
He is going for 900 on the second attempt. Let's go. Let's go. That's gonna be sick to watch. Brother doesn't care, bro. Why he doesn't fucking care. Like he's like, I'm here to make a statement and win it all.
Puts in work, gets a second attempt. And 320 being loaded for Chris Perez.
Bro, 900 attempting
Yeah.
at 83
Chris
kg
not
body
having
weight.
the day he wanted, but looking to finish off
Hardly
strong.
some
But was
93s
very, very snappy.
and 105s reach that
Answered
number.
no questions in regards to the
93 kg के बंदे और 105 kg के बंदे
rebound.
barely पहुंचते हैं वो
End up
वो
anywhere
83
near
kg
his
का
official
junior
best
होके
deadlift. That's a
he's
big
hitting
moral
that
victory
number.
lap. I think he might be
is
able
gonna
to.
be
Huge moral victory for Chris.
Yeah,
out of
his
this
personal
world.
best being 335. Doesn't
Imagine
seem like an unreasonable ask.
no one in the 83s, hardly
Gerald
few
Scott,
people
320
in the
space on
93s or
bottom.
105s can touch that number. And 120 भी
15
गिन
kilo
लो तो
jump here.
open में.
The PRQ.
He's a junior 83. Fuck. The guy is a beast. I'm not sure what his age is.
Taking his time to get this right.
He's 21, I guess. I'm not sure, but
Little
he's
slack out there.
And once he does, 320, easy work for Gerald Scott. 3 white lights.
Yeah, he's gonna want to be careful how much slack he pulls out though, because almost left the floor and that could have caused him some trouble. But it shows how strong he's feeling.
322.5 for Sean Jin. 305 move well.
Yeah, looking, I hope, to go 3 for 3 in the deadlift.
still not sure, but I think he's 21 or something. We'll have to fact check.
And Delaney Wallace, 335 for his second attempt.
Currently sat in third position after all. Sean Noriega to follow, who's made a slightly larger jump than Delaney, so he's going to have to make this look pretty convincing.
If he hits this, he'll already have a personal best total of 852.5. Two-time world champion Delaney
21 year,
Wallace.
21 year, 22, I guess.
Not unaccustomed
I'm
to a
not
battle.
something around that age. Still,
His
he has a
team
lot
was
of
in singlet,
1 or 2
remaining,
years
but
in junior as well.
the work he's
24
done
tak he can compete in
internationally.
juniors.
That
But
matches
he's
his previous personal best.
no one is even
Oh,
close
his
to
deadlift,
him in
oh,
opens.
so
तो
he's
junior
taking
तो
a
बहुत
look
दूर
at
की
his
बात है.
best
So
total.
he's over his deadlift. That was a deadlift PR by 5 kilos. Wow, he has a lot more where that came from.
To think we are in the second round, and that was an 852.5 total over what the world record was last year, and we still have lifters to follow looking for a bigger total on their second attempt.
Sean
Starting
Noriega
to
now,
touch
340
850s.
kilos. Sean absolutely having the lifting day of his life.
3:15 was very convincing. No reason to think that this isn't a reasonable jump.
8:57.5 is what Sean will end up on if he gets this.
Oh,
Yo!
that was like
This is such an amazing 83 kilo performance by these men.
42.5.
Hit about 360 and up to fight each other.
342.5 for Taylor Atwood will put him at 876.
Absolutely incredible. 25 kilo jump here for Taylor, looking extremely strong. This matches his best ever deadlift, and of course obliterates his best ever total.
Yeah, we're already into his best ever total, and look at that.
See a sneak
Bro.
peek
A
of the
sneak
Borenstein.
peek. I was gonna save it.
the top 4
But there
all
you have
breaking
Bill
Russell
Borenstein
Lowry's
looking for
records,
900 kilos
bro.
in the second attempt. But let's throw it down to Taylor Atwood. 876 with this pull. That is a huge total. I wouldn't bet against him.
Oh, that was
Insane
easy.
comeback.
So he's logged in. He's logged in. He's challenging the third and fourth guys to take up huge numbers on their third attempt. So these guys have put 360 on the bar for their Delaney and Sean to make sure they get second place at least. They're not even fighting for first place at this point. These two are trying to get somehow second place. This guy is on his own fucking league.
Sheffield total.
खुद की अपनी अलग लीग में फाइट कर रहा है वो he's fighting to be at the first place for the world. Sheffield से भी Sheffield के तो रिकॉर्ड सबने तोड़ दिए. We're starting to see some fails.
From this flight to Worlds, there is a good chance they would rank first, second, third, and fourth. Shooters from other countries would definitely have something to say, and they'll be watching and knowing what they need to do in the next couple months.
Angelo Fortino, 350 kilos.
The gap appearing here in the 83s a little bit more.
20 kilos be added on to his 815, give him 835,
Bro.
tying his pre.
That looked good. Charles Hammonds, 360 deadlift.
May have an opportunity to put a big deadlift on there, which we know he has.
Bar is loaded for Charles. Who wants to see a national record fall right now?
See our first.
365 for Charles Hammonds. That's a huge pull. Sorry, you're about to say, Amelia.
Yeah, it's not just a huge pull, it would be a national record should he make this. 360 to be only followed by Joseph Borenstein. 30 kilo jump.
National
for
record.
Charles to match his personal best.
355 was the
If even momentarily, a national record.
first national record. जो
Huge
जो
pull,
बर्स्टीन ने
360
फर्स्ट अटेम्प्ट
for
में पुल
Charles
किया था.
Hammonds.
360.
His opener was lightning fast. Now for a national record.
Hello Narottam bhai, कैसे हो?
Whoa!
That was quick and easy.
Look at that to rival
That's
Eno
the
Horror
new-
himself, I could say.
A
New record for
deadlift
now.
Legend emerging amongst us. Of course, there's
And
Joe
this
Borenstein.
guy aiming for 900
Incredible talent
on his second
display
attempt,
here.
bro.
377
If he gets this pull,
for Joe
bro,
Borenstein.
what am I witnessing?
Now, I said perhaps we'll see 900 and above. And with this pull on his second attempt, 377 kilos would give Joseph Borenstein a 9.
Taylor Atwood has
kilo total.
loaded
This was the number he said he would
901
He's been
on
a
his
striker
third
in his
attempt.
second
Oh my god, this is gonna be sick. For now.
Would make him hard to catch.
Everybody was saying 900 kilos. Everybody was mentioning that number floating around.
Oh my
Not
god.
one person is seated in the room. See this historic moment.
Yeah, I
A
know.
900 kilo total from an 83 kilo lifter, well above 10 times the body weight.
It's a new era.
Oh!
And it's the era.
77, 900 kilo total.
Oh my god.
Lives up to the hype.
God,
Said he
this.
would do it, and
Oh
when
my
he
god.
did it on his second attempt. I did say we might see a 900 kilo plus from him, and it looks like we will.
Russell Horry is in the back.
Russell Hardy backstage congratulating him, being the first one to make sure he met Joe Borenstein as he left the platform hitting 900.
Now,
367.400.
public about it? Will there be
Nah, that's a cap.
or above?
While you're
That's a cap.
Taylor Atwood,
Joe has loaded 400 on his third attempt. He's not gonna get 400. It's just to mess with Taylor Atwood.
Top end with 377.
Yeah,
ये
he's
थोड़ा
in a place
mental
somewhere,
game होता है
I'd imagine, of
to
400.
make
I can't see that
your
guy on the bar
opponent
today,
increase their number.
especially if Taylor gets that third attempt. We move into the third and final round.
Now,
We won't have to
Taylor
wait long
might
to
up
see
his
how this
total.
plays out, who will walk away on the podium, and more importantly, who gets that ticket punched to Germany for the
380.
Worlds
380.
just a few weeks
क्या
from
क्या pull कर रहे हैं ये लोग?
Kilos for his third and final pull.
भाई, these guys are going crazy on their third attempts. Let's see how many of them can get their third attempt. 380 load है, 367.5 load है, 400 loaded है.
A little bit of wobble at the top there for Cody. Let's hope it didn't cause him too many issues. And it didn't. 2-1, a good lift.
I think he should just go for 4 or 5 kgs jump based on how much Taylor Atwood can pull. This is gonna be
320, Cyan Farley Thompson looking to go 3 for 3 and 8 for 9.
fucking crazy. The Angelo guy, he has put up 380
Moving
on the
him
bar.
into 11th place.
And if he gets that, then Joe is gonna have a hard time to be
A
number
lot
1
of patience.
if Taylor hits the third one.
Takes a
बहुत
knee.
बहुत crazy drama होने वाला है अभी third attempt में.
There it is.
No, 400 उसने डाल के रखा है अभी बार पे. He can adjust based on Taylor Atwood का third attempt successful जाता है या fail जाता है. If he fails, he'll lower the number.
We got in
Yes,
for
उसने बस
absolute
ऊपर load कर
dominance
रखा है अभी.
that we've
मतलब
never
he
seen
can change
83
his
kilos
attempt
pull.
बाद में. उसने अभी 400
These kind of attempts,
दे
these
रखा
kind
है
of
बोर्ड पे.
totals. We've already seen 900 full. What else is going to happen today?
But it's just to mess with
332.5, 10 kilo
other
jump for Sean
athletes
Jen.
ताकि वो लोग बड़े रिस्क ले थर्ड अटेम्प्ट में. बिकॉज ही इज कमिंग लास्ट ना. जो सबसे बंदा लास्ट आता है उसके पास ये एडवांटेज होता है कि ही कैन जस्ट पुट अप अ फेक नंबर एंड काइंड ऑफ अदर एथलीट्स को थोड़ा चैलेंज करे उनका नंबर बढ़ाने के लिए एंड बड़े रिस्क लेने के लिए. एंड इफ दे फेल ही डजंट हैव टू go that heavy. He can win without going and make a change in his attempt and go lower.
Be a 5 kilo personal best. Should he make this?
335 for Gerald Scott, moving him into 6th place if he can hit this temporarily. So I'm taking a look at the scoreboard there, Amelia, trying to take in all the information. Obviously, these third attempts can be changed twice, but I see some jockeying for position where Taylor's trying to force the hand of Joey B. Delaney Wallace trying to nudge ahead. Angelo Fortino, everybody setting themselves up. Oh, nice third attempt by Gerald Scott. 335, slams it down with authority.
And 2-1, a good lift.
Gerald
Let's go.
Scott with a very strong 820 kilo total.
Yeah, it would land him above Christopher Perez now, which was a name that we were looking at.
Scott Gold was by Angelo Fortino.
His total dropping from what we previously seen, but like I said, suffered some injuries in prep.
And Taylor Atwood was second.
Deadlifts have been looking good though.
Bro, 83 class is going crazy.
And a great finish to the day for Christopher.
Yeah, that is a good finish for Chris, going 3 for 3 in the deadlifts.
Loaded up to 760.
Jabril,
True. Peak cinema. Peak cinema बोलते हैं ना. Peak cinema.
15 kilo
Absolute cinema.
rest on his deadlift. Sorry, no, he had deadlift 365 before he obviously missed this on his second, so losing out on some kilos that you would have wanted here, but finishing the day strong should he get this. Now, just not
Nice
Oh,
there
try.
today, unfortunately.
Second attempt भी fail था तो
so I'll
based on
break down what's happening here. Delaney Wallace currently with 852 and a half, pulling 350, which will give him 867 and a half. Sean
They've changed their number.
has 857 and a half.
they were going उसने पहले
And
360
Delaney
लोड
was
करा था
less than
डेलिनी ने
Sean,
अब 350 पे आ गया वापस
Sean's hand.
देखा अभी they're
Obviously
going to
wants
change
to
a lot
get
of
on his
numbers
final
now.
goal. Sean's
Now
gonna
they're not
beat
fighting for the
Delaney.
second place, now they're fighting for the third place.
Delaney get this. Sean can drop 7.5 kilos.
अभी बहुत सारे changes होंगे third attempt में
I believe.
based
Yeah,
on
he'll have a placeholder in place right now.
based on they
Angelo
get it or not.
Fortino
बहुत सारे changes होंगे.
can try to nudge his way onto the podium.
5-6
Still,
बचे,
he's got
5-6
a
attempts
pull
बचे.
on him.
Top 5 पूरा हिलने वाला है
Charles
अभी.
Hammond with a massive pull. Joey Borenstein, Taylor Atwood. There's a lot of shifting. But first, Delaney, if he's going to make it onto the podium, 350.
He is attempting to move from 4th to 3rd place with this pull.
Oh, he got this.
Oh, a phenomenal final effort from
Yep.
Delaney Wallace.
Just
He is not
एक
done
red मिल
yet.
सकता है.
No, Delaney, 350.
3 whites.
Seizes
3
the
whites. Still
opportunity,
good.
And if temporarily,
Temporarily
on the
third है.
podium, can he stay there? Sean Noriega, 352 and a half. Push himself from 4th to 2nd.
777. The 7th mile, he is going to overtake Delaney
Fourth.
for 3rd place if successful.
And as we just seen this, will push Delaney off.
If successful, he's third.
podium. Finishing with an 870 total. He did make that drop that we anticipated. 12.5 kilos. to
पांच
that
बचे,
340.
पांच
It's a
deadlift
huge
बचे.
ask. It's moving well. He is having a phenomenal day so far.
Sean will end up with an 870 total, which is monstrous.
Oh no!
Walkout. He was ever so close to that 870.
Lift हो गया था पूरा.
That means Delaney stays on the podium, it seems.
Still has Angelo
बोला था
Fortino
लास्ट अटेम्प्ट्स में
pulling.
बहुत गेम चेंज होने वाला है.
No, it would be a huge ask.
Yeah,
for
and
Ah.
that's fair enough. And that's fair enough.
Now,
Taylor Atwood
wow.
going for
Taylor Atwood,
367.5.
367.5.
Oh.
This will give him 876.
No, this will give
No,
him
this 901.
901, sorry, he's
901 भाई
876.
क्या बोल रहा
Move
है?
him into first place,
901 if he
forcing
gets
Joey
this.
B's
That's a
hand.
big
Now,
big
we
jump.
knew that Joey B was going for that 900 kilo total.
He's going for it all.
We're going to see for the first time ever, not one, but two 83 kilo lifters.
Oh my God.
900 kilos. Taylor Atwood, already a GOAT of the game. This would secure his name in the history books.
I'm getting lost for words here.
367.5.
Oh my God.
To put the pressure on Borenstein for 901 total. Incredible. Can he do it?
Oh no,
Not
fuck.
today, but it's got to be said. 876.
Still second. अब जो अपना drop कर देगा third attempt. यहाँ देखना. He'll change his third attempt. अभी 400 डाला हुआ है ना. He'll change his attempt. He'll change his number. Now he doesn't have to take such a huge risk.
Angelo Fortino
Unless he doesn't care about adding a little bit on his total and he just wants to
moving him into
go
fourth
crazy,
place
crazy.
in a 857 and a half total. This is a monstrous deadlift. Huge PR.
These
for
guys
him,
are
12
pulling
and a half
crazy
kilos.
numbers, bro. Yeah, he hasn't changed yet. देखते हैं अभी change. इसका lift देखने के बाद देखते हैं क्या change आता है. Oh no 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 no.
Down up, but can he lock it out? I think he locked
Failed.
it out.
Yeah, but I think he
Down हो गया
knows
था.
what's
Yeah.
coming.
Fair enough, but a moral victory nonetheless to lock
अभी
it
तक
out.
change नहीं किया है.
Yeah, and to end on 835 total, just going 6 for 9, speaks volume on how strong he is, especially if he were to have that 9 for 9 day.
2 attempt
Charles
बचे.
Hammond,
385
385
for the
kilos
record attempt.
as an 83.
I told you, Anahoro, beware. This is nearing that world
इसका
record
360 बहुत
deadlift.
super fast move हुआ था.
385
So based on that,
kilos,
I think
monstrous
it's
pull for the
achievable.
83s, and I think
Big
we've
jump,
only
but still
seen
achievable
one
for
83
him.
pull that before, and it would have been Anahoro from Hungary.
Charles really making a name for himself here. Powerlifting America's U.S. Nationals Day 2.
He's more than 50-60% of total is gonna be deadlifts.
25 kilo jump from
Deadlift
his second.
specialist.
I stand corrected. This would be over the world record deadlift held by Anahoro.
Gosh.
Oh!
Oh, just a lockout again.
But listen, that was 5 kilos over Anahoro's world record.
Let's see.
He didn't get it today. but
Joe,
the
he's
speed
going for 400. He's going for
with
400.
lockouts, a lot to
Based
hold.
on 377, I don't think so. He has it.
There's absolutely no way he's coming out for 400. He's got to be coming out to say thank you to the crowd.
Yeah, I think that might
बोला
be
ना
the
ये.
case.
There's
No way,
no
way. He's going
I
400.
mean, he's smiling.
Oh, he's having fun.
He's having fun.
Yeah, you would be.
He
listen,
says, he goes, I haven't even got my belt on. Like,
you would be a whole lot more serious than this if you're going to attempt this. But what a performance by Joe Borenstein, a junior 83, 900 kilos, Amelia.
Wow.
Lived up to the height. He said he wanted 900. A lot of people thought if the battle's tight, 900's overly ambitious. I guess not. And here's his victory lap, and I tell you what, he deserves it.
yeah, and you know,
Bro,
he's going out to thank
sick
everybody
numbers.
involved, and
900
that ticket to Germany,
at
and
the
it'll be
Nationals.
interesting to see, having to travel
That's a
across
good
the
move by him, I
continent
would say,
for
कि
that total, you know,
save some for
absolutely insane
his
effort.
international
900
performance.
kilos, that is
Nationals
history.
में he has already made
In
a
a lot
statement
of
by hitting
ways,
the first
You know, we
900
close the books
total
on one
in the
era,
83
and we
categories.
and we open a chapter of another one.
We have had an incredible day of lifting.
Doesn't make any
Battles
sense going any more
in
than
the
that.
women's battles in the men's, a historic flight of 83.
923
Look
total
at
कौन डाला है
top
भाई?
end there. Joe obviously 900. Taylor Atwood though with 876 and Delaney Wallace with 867 and a half. Some phenomenal lifting and Sean
Taylor
Noriega
Atwood did amazing as well, I would say.
getting
Like
his way onto the platform.
that's
Just a sensational battle
876 is
amongst the
still very
83s. We
sick
do hope you
compared to
enjoyed it.
वर्ल्ड में और
Huge
किसी ने भी नहीं
return
876 हिट
tomorrow.
करा है. He's probably the
Plenty more
second in
lifting
the
left
world,
to go.
but unluckily they both are in the same country.
It is
Unluckily, they both are in the same country, so एक ही को ticket मिलेगा. I don't know if both can represent or not Germany में. So that was it, chat. Guys, आज का conclusion 83s का ये था. Joe has hit officially the first 900 of the world 83s में. Unlucky for Taylor Atwood to be in the same country as Joe. Otherwise, he's the number 2 in the world, I would say, for now. Russell Ori being the third. Delaney Wallace 367.5. Sean Norega. Angelino has some unlucky lifts going on, otherwise he can be a good fighter as well. But stacked 83s is fucking stacked in America's. Bhai, it's gonna be crazy to see what Joe pulls in the worlds or preparation के साथ. He's gonna keep smashing some numbers. Yeah, US is probably the US, Canada, France, UK. These 4 countries are gonna be the biggest in powerlifting. Like every time they have such a insane numbers, the best teams. Let's just quickly check इसका रिजल्ट्स. ओपन क्लासिक 2024 का रिजल्ट चेक करके मैं जा रहा हूँ खाना खाना है. और मैं इनका स्कोर शीट देखते हैं. ये 2024 का वर्ल्ड्स है, इसका स्कोर शीट देखते हैं. 83s का अनजूम किधर है भाई. हाँ, सो आप लोग को दिख रहा है कि नहीं पता नहीं. 83s का वर्ल्ड्स का टोटल था पिछली बार 845 is the first guy. 845, 843.5 एंड एक तीसरा बंदा जो 800 टच किया. और आज सिर्फ अमेरिकाज में we had like 8 people touch over 800 and 1 person touched 900. How sick is that? एंड जो मैं बात कर रहा था बेस्ट टीम्स की, इधर टीम्स दिखेगी बेस्ट सब एज पॉइंट्स. या यूएस फर्स्ट, ब्रिटेन सेकंड, फ्रांस थर्ड, स्वीडन फोर्थ, कनाडा फिफ्थ, स्पेन सिक्स्थ. ये टॉप 6 कंट्रीज है भाई. दे पुट अप ह्यूज नंबर्स हमेशा. What's next? Tomorrow is going to be 93s का battle. Tomorrow it's going to be sick day for the 93s. Powerlifting America. ये रहा schedule. किधर गया एथलीट्स व्यू रोस्टर. ये रहा 93s का रोस्टर दिखा देता हूँ. 3-4 तगड़े बंदे हैं जो 93s और 83s सबसे अच्छा होने वाला था वैसे भी. कल और 105 का भी है. गैविन एडन, ब्रैंडन, जॉनथन काइको, डोमिनिक एंड डिमिट्री स्मिथ. ये और ये भी काइल डीलन. ये 5-6 लोग हैं. देयर gonna be fighting for who's gonna get 900 कल. Only Gavin Aiden has touched 900 yet, and Jonathan Kaiko is close second. He has represented Sheffield पहले बहुत बार, and all these guys are sick 93s के world top class athletes. So this is gonna be fun. कल same time मिलेंगे. Hope you guys liked the stream and मज़ा आया आप लोग को मेरे साथ देखने के लिए instead of watching by yourself. कुछ क्वेश्चंस होगा तो इंस्टाग्राम पे मैसेज कर देना. कभी याद दिलाना होगा कुछ तो मैं भूल जाऊँ तो. बाकी थैंक यू सो मच फॉर ज्वाइनिंग द स्ट्रीम. कल मिलते हैं 93s का देखेंगे. मज़ा आएगा.